So here we go. He's dropping Scions to no one's surprise. Okay, there you go. Mr. Cory Gazalsi, known for his Scions lineup and his modifier. There you go. He drops Mono Earth. Okay. And what's the last one, Cory? The beast from the beast from the east is coming back for his rematch. What would you do now?
The Scion's Ice. Let's see. What are? Let me review Cory's decks real quick to see what the options are here. Over here. Cory, okay. So Scion's modifier: Fire, Ice, Water, Lightning. 8 Mono Ice and Mono Earth. Lots of mono decks.
Yeah, the Chaos Earth, the Chaos Arc deck is not gonna be like the most impactful here.
Well, I imagine Sidney's gonna try to save it for a counter pick. So if Cory leads with something that isn't mono, he's gonna slam it on the table immediately.
Yeah, so he's done the Chaos Off into the Silence before. He's lost that. He could have played a little bit better, honestly. But he was ahead at some point, and he should have won, but he didn't. I hope it's not gonna be a repeat there, because I mean he might have gone better since from yesterday to today. You know, that's very very possible. But and I just don't see the Chaos Earth doing a lot in any of the matchups either, honestly. So you still want to lock into the Scions if you get the choice to. Alternatively, there's a world where Cory doesn't play. He doesn't he doesn't get to play around having Warfall in his Mono Earth, and Mono Earth doesn't stay Mono Earth for very long. You do go into like multi-element cards and stuff. So there's a venue where you could attack it that way.
Yeah. Another matchup that you might want to put the Chaos into is the one that's directly across from right now, which is the Fire Ice Warriors. I can say from experience, I played that matchup a ton, specifically from the Warrior side. I don't touch disgusting Chaos, but one of my local buddies plays tons of Chaos, so I have so much experience playing against Chark. And I can say that from experience, the Fire Ice Warrior deck, it's extremely swingy with the Chaos deck. Because like when you're playing Tyvis, usually the first things you want to be playing off Tyvis are, Mog or Furion, right? You want to get your like value engine cards down and start drawing cards. And playing Mog in your Fire Ice deck against Chaos, like you instantly go to 3 colors. So like often you'll just be like cracking Mog just to stop anything, just on the off chance, because you do not want the water card on field. So like
Yeah,
not being able to draw with Furion every turn and not be able to draw with Mog without like committing water to the board in that deck, which is like nominally a 2-color deck, is
yeah.
extremely annoying. So I can say that I'm not going to say that Chaos is necessarily favored against Fire Ice, but it's an interesting matchup that Chaos can, with given the right hands,
They can abuse it.
certainly
Yeah.
win. Right? Like sometimes the Tyvis deck doesn't really feel like it has any play to do except put a water card on field, which is extremely annoying. Right? The fact that 5 to 6 of your most powerful cards effectively draw your opponent a card when played is so frustrating.
Let's see what they do here.
So Sidney leading with the Cat 8 deck. As Cory, something to consider is, as we were saying, we do not want necessarily to lead with these multicolor decks, right? Because otherwise Sidney will counterpick with them. So Sidney's probably playing a deck that Cory probably doesn't want to lead with the Warriors or the Scions. But from my experience, Warriors into Cat 8 is fairly strong. So this both allows Cory to get rid of one of the potential counter picks while also getting a nice counter pick instead.
Absolutely. And the candidate is going at the end of the day, it's going to be it does one of two things, right? You can build your boat a little bit to get a lot of value of the area, but also at the same time, you can just go all in. And the all in is one of the best things to stop the all in to stuff it is by tossing out Tyvus and Axter. Those are very good against the aggro decks.
Yeah, and then
Hey, look
and then Cory immediately throws the Scions in. I would have thought he would have wanted to counterpick with the Scions, right? Because now that the Warriors was off the table, the moment he counterpicked with the Scions, it would have got freed up any one of the mono decks to face into Chaos.
yeah. It's fair, honestly. He has three, but at the same time, Cory is not afraid to play Stannis into any matchup. He's told me, he's like, yeah, I mean, I can have some bad matchups, but it's never like never feels unwinnable. He can always, like, he proved it yesterday in their games on the first set in the winners finals. They played it, and Sidney was way ahead, and Sidney lost. So it's very possible.
So with Sydney putting Bart's in there, I expect Corey to counterpick with the mono ice. Notably, mono fire versus Refia is a not necessarily a great matchup. It's just really hard for the mono fire deck to actually run the Refia deck out of resources, and
Uh,
mono earth versus the Refia is not great because you're basically playing like Warrior of Light at home.
Yeah, the modifier is it has tools against the Refia deck. However, the moment something or anything goes wrong, you lose on modifier. And you never get to come back against the Refia, unfortunately. You'll
Yeah.
sit there, you get everything spun back to the top, and then you'll have Amaterasu for everything that's in the back. And you just don't come back into that matchup, unfortunately. So that's one of the things that's going to happen. You can't, like I said, you can win, but if anything goes wrong, you just don't come back up.
Yeah. Also, God forbid you try to actually cast Montleonis in your mono fire deck, right? Like, surely it will resolve, right? Against the deck
Surely
running
nothing
three
will happen to
Amots and three Mist
nothing will
Dragons.
happen to your break zone. Nothing will happen to the trigger. Nothing will happen to your backup. That's yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So, yeah, yeah. That ending to the draft section went about as I expected. I'm still a bit surprised how they chose their first few, but this will be interesting. Have you played the Cat 8 versus the Warrior matchup before, D?
Nope, I've not. No one has played. No one serious has played that deck, so I haven't got to change. I haven't had a chance to fight into it. But from what I've seen, from what I've watched, it's just a very aggro deck it's very stuffable.
Yeah.
For the warrior side.
Yeah, so I played it twice at Worlds. Once in bracket, and then it was my final match of the day. So I offered my opponent a rematch, and it was brutal, to put it mildly. Tyvus is just a big guy, and so like a lot of these decks, like the moment I got like Yuzuki on board, it's annoying to deal with the Tyvus, right? You have to cloud the Yuzuki before you can even touch the Tyvus, and Mog gets in the way of all of your searching. There's a significant amount of searching in the deck, and funnily, all of the forwards in the deck are like 4 costs. So Axstar just comes in and Dole freezes everything. It's so sad.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of twos and fulls, isn't there? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, the whole deck is even costed forwards, except for the 5 costs, right? There's
Yeah,
two fours and fives. It's like sometimes there's the Irvines, but then that's like it. And so what
yeah.
that's great. You just target the Irvine with the Axstar. And then everything else is Dole frozen.
And
I
you
guess
don't have
Cypher is also 3 cost, but
and you don't have the tech that some of the knights have, which is going to be Miwa on top of it. So you have a small fighting chance into it if you draw and you can save it. You can try to do this to outplay the whole setup. But yeah, definitely, it's just
yeah,
if you
it's
get hit by the axe, you sit there, you do nothing. Honestly, it gets that's what it feels like, and it makes sense.
yeah, and then like you get Axstar down, and then like you can also play down like the Min not the Minwu, the who's the new girl that does 7K on entry? The
Uh,
princess?
Wuklamat?
Wuklamot, yeah. So like you get Axstar and Wuklamot, now they have to choose which one they want to kill,
Yeah,
which isn't great.
yeah. It's I mean, with Wuklamat activating on the 70 characters, making everything ping for 2 more damage is insane because now you can also ping. You can also play LB Zack, and he shoots for 5K. Uh,
Yeah, it's nice. Just not one-shotting Laswell. Woo.
it's kind
one
of
shot, one-shotting Mog sixes. Oh baby.
it's kind of sexy. Like
Yeah,
I do like it, but that Wuklamat also Wuklamat being searchable by both being a warrior and also being a princess, it's kind of nuts. Like I've
yeah,
actually had two backers when I go search for a princess, and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna get a princess. Here's Wukulmat, and then
yeah.
Tyler throws her in for free. It's kind of sick. It's really fun.
Yeah, anytime Sarah searches Sarah searching a Tyvus target is very funny. So
It's
interesting
crazy.
that Cory got down to 2 backups here turn 1 after developing a Tyvus on the first turn. Usually when you're playing a Tyvus on the first turn, playing like a Naja on the first turn to search the Tyvus, you're planning on just, delaying that backup for the Tyvus in the following turn. So the second backup usually isn't particularly useful unless you have like an Amat in hand to threaten. But it's possible that Cory just has the Seymour in hand, and he's just hoping that Sidney will develop a second backup, and then he can just blow him out with the actual 6 mana Seymour instead of the 7 mana.
Hmm. Uh, though I do have to say, I mean, I guess I should be honest. Sidney, not Sidney. Cory has a very specific way of playing the game, and he will often refuse to play anything other than backups for the first 3-4 turns, and he will actually just play backup into backup into backup in an aggro deck. He does do that, so it's it's not out of the ordinary for him to do this.
Okay, so Sidney did get his Adayadal online, which got him his Sid Kramer, which is really nice for uh, making sure that he has the colors he needs to cast all of his cards every turn. He has 4 Cat 8 characters on board, so I believe Adaya gets the draw, or is it? Do you need 5?
Check it quick. That was
Let
fun.
me read Adaya. Yeah, it's 4. So Sidney should be drawing a card, and that's a reason to have an even amount of backups on board. Uh, Cory has decided he doesn't care for this at all.
He wants to bypass everything. Okay.
Yeah. Interesting to discard the Ifrit there. Maybe he has another special in hand already. But that's pretty brutal for Sidney. Ifrit is similar to Tyvus. He's just a big guy, and it can be hard for the Cat 8 deck to remove him efficiently. Now, if Sidney has something like a Seymour in hand, he could potentially break it and then like discard a card, or break it and dull freeze 2 backups. But even if you do that, there's a good chance that Cory has a special in hand to kill the Seymour in response, because why else would he discard the Ifrit there? So pretty rough. Maybe he just doesn't have the fire. But we
Possibly.
know he has the Tyvus, so
Uh,
maybe you just value the Tyvus more than the special.
I can respect that too, honestly.
Yeah, but rough situation from Sidney here.
He's going to get demolished by Ifrit here. At the end of this, still good code. So
Yeah, just he's just so big. He's just so big, right? Like even if you have the other Adea, she can't shrink him enough to kill him. And there's just not that many straight breaks that this deck has access to
yeah.
that aren't something like Cloud LB, but you can't Cloud LB an Ifrit. He's a big 7 cost. So there's the Seymour. We're going for the break and presumably discard. There's not much reason to dull freeze the backups. You'd rather he does have the special.
Yeah, another one. Yeah, there you go.
Uh,
But I think he got rid of the field though, because that team is important that he had it.
okay. Yeah. So, but the difference between dull freezing and discarding, right, is that if you go for the dull freeze on both backups, if your opponent doesn't top deck a fire card, they can't play Tyvus. Although we can't play the Tyvus anyway. So yeah, you skip your opponent's turn. But if you do the discard, you might still skip your opponent's turn, but also have them one less card in the future.
Yeah.
So I often the discard is better, but it's very context dependent.
Yeah, in this situation, I'm pretty fine with the double backup, because if you know that he has Tyvus in hand, then you would play the Tyvus
Well,
regardless. You draw
well,
fire.
if he did the discard, he wouldn't be able to Tyvus regardless, because he wouldn't have enough cards in hand to do it.
Yeah.
Looks like Sidney's passing too. I imagine Tyvus is coming down here.
I mean, that's kind of like what the all-in aggro versus all-in aggro does. So sometimes you have like 2 backups each. You're like, oh, I was wolf, you have wolf, and then we kill everything off the board. And sometimes recharging, it's kind of like in the Dragon Ball Z series when
Yeah.
they do a bunch of like fireballs. I showed they have to like recharge a little bit, and then they scream some more, and then they shoot more fireballs. Yeah, that's kind of like what they're doing right now.
Interesting that we're discarding the Amat there.
Yeah, I do not know about that one. That is an odd one.
Although to be fair, a lot of the guys in Cat 8 are just like weirdly big. But Ahmad is good against Idea. It's good against Squall sometimes. It's
He
good
can
against
circle it back
Selfie.
up.
I think he already has a Furion in hand, so maybe he's just gonna play the backup and then free cast the Furion.
Yeah, but searching on the Tyrus is.
No, he's just free casting. Torrey likes his backups. What can I say? Interesting that Sidney is checking Cory's breaks out here. I'm wondering what he is worried about. So every Ifrit is gone. So Sidney at least no longer needs to worry about that. But any 3-cost Ifrits we draw over the course of the game can now special if we manage to find another Ifrit to go with it. Because there is the one removed from game 1. Being 2 cards, 4 mana for Selfie. And actually paying for fire instead of tapping the Sid Kramer. It's not often you see the Selfie actually cast, correctly.
Impressive.
Yes. We could be getting a Cypher. Okay, I was going to say we could get a Squall, but Cypher works too. We could play Cypher and then grab back maybe like a Renoa or something and then pay 1 for the Renoa. Just to get some bodies on field. So we're going to mill 2.
But you can still seeing what I was talking about earlier. Cory is the kind of player that doesn't really care that he's playing an aggro deck. He'll sit there, he'll get back to get more backups in. It's
Well, to be fair, in this matchup, I think Cory is the control and Sidney is the beatdown.
yes.
Okay, so Sidney is going hellbent. His hand is empty. He's gonna dull freeze Cory's entire board. Wait, does it only count forwards?
But it's 3, so yeah, he has it.
Yeah, it didn't matter because Cypher received haste by Selfie, and because Sidney has enough cards in the break zone already, Cypher was able to break Tyvis on swing. So I'm assuming Cory is going to grab another Tyvis here off of the Nanji EX and just pray that he doesn't lose it to the.
I mean, it makes sense.
Instead, he's going for the Axstar. Maybe he already has a Tyvis in hand. But if that's the case, why are we risking discarding it?
Yeah, I'm confused.
He might not remember the Sid. Looks like we remember the Sid. You gotta shuffle it first. Okay. Well, fine. Well, looks like we're hitting Axstar. Oh, Tyvis. I guess he did shuffle and I didn't see it.
No, they're just not rolling dice.
Yeah.
So shuffling
I just thought I saw him. You should still shuffle it first before you roll the dice because let's say you hit like a different card and it's like the same card you searched for whatever reason.
Yeah.
It gives hand information.
Yeah, definitely.
So Cory losing his Tyvis there is really sad. I'm not sure why he used the Naji there.
It was questionable at best.
Yeah. He should now have 4 cards in hand, so he could play this Axstar and free play something. But that would require a very specific set of 4 cards in hand for that to be worth it.
Yeah.
Instead, Yisha's nice here. We can dull freeze the Cypher. Those are 3 good hits.
I respect it.
Interesting choice to grab the ward there.
Over
the Wook, right? So Wooklamot is currently online and can actually be cast using your 3 backups. Whereas Ward requires you to discard a card, right? And requires you to leave both ice backups up, which can be awkward. Of course, he might just be thinking he's gonna call next turn, grab back Tyvis.
Also, Wooktomat is also just stronger than
the Ward, yes.
in general.
Yeah, it also leaves an EX burst in your deck, which can be relevant.
100%. You had every reason to take the Wook there.
It's possible he just wants to save Wook for later, though.
Yeah, but
Looks like we're getting.
Yeah, but look what he's playing against, though. You know, there's not a lot, bro. You know,
I know, yeah. There's not much later. Joseph down, and then we're getting in with Zell. Okay, Cory at damage 4. Can he stabilize here? He needs to do something about this board right now. So there's no more Ifrits left, so we don't have to worry about that on Sidney's side. But here's the Tyvus. They always have the third Tyvus.
They always have.
Okay. So now we have the Axstar here. So we are going to be able to Axstar Ward and kill 2 things. And then Dull Freeze the rest. So I imagine he's going to... Well, actually, Axstar doesn't kill anything. He doesn't have enough damage. He's going to have to discard a card for like a Surges or a Zac or like a Leo or something.
What he should have done was to pitch one Mokel for the Tyvus. They don't have enough mana to...
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted to have the mana to play a Surges before this.
Well, he wouldn't have enough to play the Surges regardless, right? Because if he had pitched one more card for the Tyvus and left up 2 backups, he'd just have no cards in hand.
Oh,
and
yeah,
Surges cost 2.
You're right.
However, if he had Wook Lamont instead of Ward, he could have played a Machina first, and then Wook Lamont would have buffed Axstar's damage up to kill something.
I know he has 3 characters. He's 7.
I'm saying if he had Machina right on board, right? Wook killed one more thing. Luckily, for Cory, the Quistis isn't really doing anything here. But right now, Sidney can just, cloud the Axstar. And while it's not ideal for, it's not ideal for Sidney to leave the Tyvus on the board. Just get her into the Axstar with a cloud is still pretty nice. So Sidney's keeping the pressure up. He's saying, look, if you want to block, that's fine. I'll just use Selfie to pump up Quistis in response, and we'll be a trade. But going to 5 is a little scary.
Yeah. Especially against the deck that has haste.
I'm very surprised Sidney didn't go for a cloud. Maybe he has something like an Eden in hand. But also, there is an argument just to leave the Axstar on the field because you just don't want him to be dull freezing you every turn, right? Because if you cloud the Axstar here, Cory has access to call. He can just call back the Axstar and just do it again. So I guess that does make sense.
These are choices.
Yeah. No, I actually, now that I think about it, I do think it was correct to leave the Axstar on the field, right? Because if you leave the Axstar on the field, he kills one thing. But if you kill him, he can dull freeze your whole board again. Something you'll do in certain mirror matches is you will try to leave the Axstar on field as long as possible, right? Like if you're playing Knights, for instance, you want to use Laswell to dull freeze Axstar every turn.
I mean, you don't
actually want to kill him. D, what LB do you think Cory's going for here? He's got a lot of options.
He does have a lot of options. First of all, if there's a card in the set that's water, you get the Leo first. Legitimately. You would pitch the water card in your hand, you get the Leo, and then you have access to both Zac and Surges after that. But as it is right now, he might just do the Surges and have enough for 9,000 damage here. That's probably what he's gonna do. But like I said, I would have definitely done Leo first if you had water.
Yeah, he's changing his mind. He's not sure. Maybe he's thinking he wants to call back something from the graveyard first. No. Surges? Okay, we're doing the Surges? We sure? Okay, there we go. Pitched the Demon. Okay, I can see. That's a.
I don't know.
There's a lot of seed candidates on the other side of the field.
What? Also,
That-
eating graveyard sets back the cipher so much. Like I don't know, man. Like
Yeah, I am. To say I am mildly shocked about the decision to pitch the Demon there instead of just playing it is an understatement, right? That kills 1, 2, 3 forwards, and then you attack with Axstar and kill a fourth. That just leaves one thing left on board.
So, Mr. Cory, they have the same job. It's good.
He probably didn't notice that the jobs were all the same, and that he was probably thinking like elements, how there's like it's a 2-2-1 split between elements.
To be fair, yes. No, it's I know this fire, ice, and lightning, but yeah, Sea Canada, bro. That's Sea Canada's good.
Yeah. He was also maybe thinking, well, I want to play the Fearing in this turn, so therefore I can't actually cast the Demon. But you could just play the Furion and attack and then draw a card, and it's unlikely the Quistis is going to block anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you do Axstar, you don't have to discard a card for the Furion. You can just attack with the Axstar to kill her.
Then you still get the draw. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, like I don't see what's better in your hand than a demon. Same for like next turn, for example, right? Like it's kind of devastating.
Yeah. So interesting to leave the 2 backups up like that. I'm wondering why we discarded like that to play Surges when we could have dulled 3 backups. Now the argument is, well, if I have like an Ammon in hand, right, for instance,
Yeah.
now I can play the Ammon on curve, but that just leaves up 1 extra backup regardless. It doesn't actually fix the math. You're still pitching the same amount for the Ammon. The only difference is you have an untapped, useless backup.
The only thing that you need for is the Mateus, essentially.
Yeah. Even then, the Mateus, unless you have no other, I guess if you have no ice cards in hand, you could do that for the Mateus.
Yeah, Mateus does make sense if you have no ice.
Yeah. Is he running Mateus, though, in this list?
I'm about to check.
I don't think that's usually common in...
No, it's not.
So, yeah, I don't think there was any actual reason to tap like that.
No, the only... oh, that's not the correct list. That's not Cory.
Oh, let's see what we're doing. It looks like Sidney is trying to go for game here. So right now he has 2 attackers, and Cory is at damage 5. So if he can just Surges 1 out of the way, and then either like Cloud or Kuja the other out of the way, that will be game.
Yep, that is a choice. Unless he's playing against Armateros, then he's be worried about it. But yeah.
Well, if you're playing against Amat, you got to do it now, right? Because
Yep.
if he Kuja's the second one, you can't Amat that.
Truth.
That's why generally it's better to go for the Surges first and then the Kuja second. And we know that Sidney has access to the ICP to do it. And then we're not going... I guess the idea here is we can just haste the Squall instead.
Mm-hmm.
So we attack with Squall first, then we attack with Zell, and then... We're still threatening lethal. We're just going for the Squall line over the Kuja line.
Yeah. Save some LBs, you know?
Yeah.
Your name's Sidney. You don't believe in LBs.
Yeah. And this still plays around Amat because Squall is currently a big boy. Because there's enough cat 8s on field.
Yeah, he's 10.
And even if he was still an 8, you could use Selfie's effect in response to the Ella to pump him to 9. I don't think there's any relevant EX bursts in this deck. The Ice Fire deck usually doesn't run any.
Yeah. Although he does have to be careful. Fury has it's able to block possibly.
Yeah, that is true. However, there is only what 5 water cards in this deck.
Yeah, just the Furians. Furians, Yuzuki, and
Oh, I forgot about these Zukis. Yeah, so there is a couple left. We do see that Mog into damage, so there's not very many water cards in that hand. I can imagine. It's or let me just put it this way: it's unlikely.
But remember the card that's untapped right now. It says put cards.
That's true. So we can grab a warrior back.
Yeah, so it does matter quite a bit.
You definitely. I think you would attack with. Do you party here or do you attack with a Zell? I think you just attack with a Zell.
First of all,
and like
if Sidney knows that that Furion can untap first one, so.
Okay, do we have the water in the break? It looks like we do.
If you have a double element, then yeah.
Oh, he does have it. Okay, there is a Furion in the break set. Okay, we are alive. But even still, that broke the call. So that explains why he left the backup stuff like that. But still not great.
No, that's well planned for Cory. He managed to live through it, but now both the balls are pretty strong.
Yeah, so Axstar, the sad thing is because we used Call for that, we can't use it to grab back like anything else to free play off of this Tyvus. Axstar is still not killing anything, which is annoying. Of course, we can just play another Surges, right? Freeze, say the Renoa, and then like get in there with Star. But the main thing you want to be killing here is probably the Squall. But he's like, that's not happening.
Squall is. Does he take damage from abilities? No, right?
He does not.
Yeah.
He does not take damage from abilities, and there's no way for Cory to get rid of that.
Yeah. He will need a buffer on him, so for him to swing right now, he has to play Red 13.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, he has exactly enough Cat 8s for Squall to have his protection, right? So if you can manage to like kill, say, Selfie, right, then you could potentially attack with the Axstar and kill the Squall.
Yeah,
so something like a Wuklamat here would allow you to kill both, right? Because you Wuklamat, kill the Selfie, and then you can attack with Axstar.
He actually has enough CP to Zac, and then also Red 13, and then the Red 13 will buff by 2k, and the Zac will be another 3-drop, so that when he swings with the Axel will be 10k, and then he's also going to burn for 9k on one of the other C candidates.
But even if he does that, he's not threatening to kill Sidney, right?
Yeah, no, he's not. But he's dominating the board if he does that. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if you do that, like you only kill what, one guy?
You kill one of the you kill one of the Axel, and then you swing with the Fear, and then the Fear's gonna be 7k, and then he gets to draw another card. And then
you just gotta be really careful though, right? Because if you put Sidney to damage 5, right?
Yeah,
like
you don't put him at damage 5. Second of all, you don't want to expose yourself, especially when you're not way to get a water card in your hand to untap the Furion again. Because the Furion is the only thing that kept him alive last turn, right? He'd be dead by now if he didn't manage to get the card to get the Furion. So the fact that he does have it, and we called it out, and we saw it, and then he got to attack. Now he doesn't have that option again. He's not gonna have a 9k first strike untapped. So.
Yeah, well,
he has to be very careful here. He has to make the choices on his LB very, very relevant here because he can't do nothing. He has to swing with the axe stone, but he cannot swing the axe stone without having a red 13, for example.
Well, I think you can. So what I think what you do here, right, is you play like a Surges, right, and you freeze the Renoa again, right? Because we really don't want to have him like somehow get to damage 5, right? You freeze the Renoa. That also gets Axstar to 9k, and then you attack with Axstar, you kill the Selfie. Suddenly, Squall's only an 8k, right? He doesn't want to block now.
Yep.
right? And if they do block, that allows you to potentially squall again. Or, I mean, not squall again, Axstar again, which is like in your benefit as the warrior player. Like arguably, Cory wants Axstar to die, right? So I think offering the squall for Axstar trade is actually extremely beneficial.
Yeah. Let's see what he does.
But he might. It looks like, considering he's playing Zach over playing Sergi's, it looks like he's probably going for the red 13 line, because otherwise, like, this damage that Zach's giving isn't helping hit any relevant
Yeah.
thresholds, I think.
First of all, let me check if he has the red 13 is. He's not a how to say this. He's not like an advanced Warriors player either.
Oh yeah, the red
So
13 is really nice because it's also a job warrior. It's there's a couple
it,
of reasons why that's relevant.
it is. It is. It is.
Right, it
And
triggers Yish.
also, another thing that needs to be mentioned is that if you ever Zach LB and then you Vincent LB, you have two FF7 folds in play, and
Yeah.
when Zach comes in, he has haste because there's two other Fantasy 7 guys in play. But let me check his LB deck. He does have the Zach and he does have the Vincent, but there is no red 13 option for him. He has the Iron Giant as an option.
Okay, so we are attacking with Axstar here, and we are offering the trade, and we did not take the trade. Okay, we're
That's
just passing there. We're not even attacking with the Furium. We're not risking whether or not we draw a water card, it looks like. We'd rather just guarantee have the fire cards in hand to be able to
yeah.
block.
I respect him, and I guess like I said, he knows that he needs to stay alive, and his deck does pretty well until he gets everything don't frozen. His deck is going to hold very well.
Yeah. Like as I mentioned before, right? Like the big bodies, like this Tyvus was played on what, turn 3? And he's been, or is this, no, this is the second Tyvus. But this Tyvus has been on board for like what, 3 turns now?
Yeah.
He just keeps, like, it's really hard for this Cat 8 deck to actually kill Tyvus. He's just like a big guy.
Yeah, and then the other things that even like between Furion and Axel, those are two very powerful warriors, right? So you want them off the board. At the same time, the moment you kill them, you commit and you invest a CP into killing them, and then your opponent has had turns to draw, and they have a replacement for them. What did you really do? You know,
Yeah.
it's rough.
Well, there's the Amat. Finally, Squall was small enough to die. Uh,
Sidney looks like he's in a lot of trouble now.
yeah.
Cory took it nice and slow, a very defensive play, and I think these were like a lot of correct choices that he's made back to back. Honestly, the way he
Yeah.
plays in sequences.
Yep. The only thing is you could like play a Cloud here from Sidney and like kill the X Star or something, but that's just like not helping you. And then you're blowing LB that you could use on a game that you're more likely to win.
It's what other than Kyle LB, what else can Cine draw here to get him out of this situation? Is there
I
anything
don't
that you can think of?
I don't think there's no AoE in Sydney's deck, right?
Yeah.
All it, like, he could, the funny thing is this Renoa being on board is like a little unfortunate for him because that's like one of the things that you can like top deck. That's like a good top deck. But if Renoa dies here, he's down to what, one Cat A character, right? His affinity is not where he wants it to be.
Oh, I think it's time to pack it up here.
Okay, so it looks like we're getting with the Clive. Of course, the Clive cannot prime. Um,
Uh,
interesting that we decided to pitch our whole hand for the Clive, knowing
well,
that the Surges was going to block it.
uh, yeah,
I
he's
guess.
not blocking
Oh,
it.
he's not. What?
Okay, all right.
Uh,
Well, we
sure.
spoke soon. I guess. I guess.
What
You,
are we?
I
What?
guess.
What are we doing?
I guess you didn't block.
Sydney.
Please draw your card.
Sydney. Uh.
I guess we're not blocking.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
He gave up. Okay. I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
he has
Yeah.
and he has no characters in play. Yeah, that's fair enough. I think
Yeah. I
he
don't.
mentally gave up there.
Yeah. I don't blame him for that. Okay. Well, Warriors took game 1. Honestly, I think that was
Game two,
mostly to be
game two.
expected. I think it's, personally, from my experience, it's a pretty rough matchup for the
Yeah.
Cat 8 deck.
That is game 2, so it is now a 1-1.
Yeah. And I think we saw the thing that I mentioned before we started, right? Like you have all this massive board of 4 cost forwards, and then you just do Tyvis Axstar, and then it just all disappears.
Yeah,
Yeah,
literally what you just said, word by word. Yeah, it just makes sense. There's nothing they can do about it. Like
yeah,
you play the deck the best as you can. And that's probably like one of the this. You can change your list around, but you're choosing between a full drop squad and a 2 drop squad, bro. You know, like no matter what, you're getting axed out. You know,
yeah,
there's no like it is what it is.
yeah. And it's not like you have like Amont to stop the Axstar or anything. Like you, like the one real instant speed interaction that they have is like what Eden, and you
Yeah,
can use that to kill the Tyvis like while the search is on the stack. But in this case, we knew that Cory already had the Axstar and the Tyvis already in hand, which is just it's a rough spot to be. Like
it's
there's no
brutal.
way for you to outstack that.
But I do want to put out there, like we keep saying it over and over again that this is a good matchup for Tavares. He can close. He can really close to winning
Oh
that
yeah,
match.
oh yeah. If
So
Cory didn't top deck the final Tyvis on like that exact turn,
yeah,
it was over. Right, there was 2 in the break zone already,
yeah,
so it was really close. And Sidney almost pulled it through. Right, like Sidney was the aggressor. He knew he was the aggressor. He knew he needed to get the pressure down, and he just couldn't quite close it.
yeah,
He also had a really rough start there. I don't know if you remember, right? That turn 2 Ifrit from Cory, which just blew Sydney's board out of the water, was rough. And then he was able to just discard one more card to kill the Seymour. Which is pretty brutal, right?
yeah.
Like Seymour dying to an Ifrit special is not necessarily where you want to be.
It was expensive.
Yeah. So now we're going to game 2. We're going to be seeing Sydney's Chaos Arc list once again, and this time against Cory Science. You said that they played this matchup yesterday and that Cory took it?
Yeah. So it looked like Sidney was going to shut him out. He was way ahead, and if you're way ahead on Chaos Talk, you usually don't come back. But Sidney couldn't close it. And then the 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 we while sitting on the cast, we were like, yeah, he's in a lot of trouble. And I said, Sounds does get the if you don't get pressure on, you're going to sit there, and you play Tattoo, and then you're going to sit there and draw, and that's exactly what he did. He drew for like 5 6 rounds, and then all of a sudden there was a natural game. That swung back, and then Corey ended up eking it out barely, but he got it. So
Okay, so yeah, let's pull up this Scion list for me so I can make some educated comments. Wait, am I? Where is this? Here we go. Oh wow! By Scions, you mean this is like just Cat 14 good stuff? Oh wait, no, this is a different list. I'm looking at the wrong lists. I am
I can
stupid.
I can link it
Where
for
am
you.
It's Cory, right? Scions, deck 1 Scions. Okay, I got it.
Okay, you got it.
Okay, so for the most part, we're 2 color, but we are splashing 2 off-color Gestolas. We will probably not be putting those on the board this game.
Not in this matchup, no. Ishwar, though, to be fair, is it's not the worst, but
Yeah, green Gestola is
it's
not bad.
careful. That's the win the win short is not bad, but there's other things he wants to do. He actually wants to sit there, go to 5 backups, and draw. That's usually his plan.
Yeah. I mean, it is nice having something that can cancel arcs on board, but the fact that it also discounts chaos by 2 is not necessarily where you
Yeah.
want to be.
hmm if he
But
gets him early on in play, he will actually just cancel a search or cancel like some type of draw, but it's not what you want to have. Yeah,
yeah, a turn 1 Tataru is quite nice.
that's insane.
Uh, yeah, going to line, that's a lot of resources.
it's
Um,
it's a 2 drop. He has 2 off in the deck. Just drawing is just very
yeah.
nice.
Wait, he's only running 2? Wait,
Yeah,
what?
he's already very good. Yeah,
Why? Why is this not a 3?
yeah, it's
Am I crazy?
it's he's gambling.
Okay, like it's like that's like the whole reason to be in water.
Yeah,
Um, so we got Astrologer down. Another Cat 14 card, but not a
Scion.
Scion.
However, it does have a second purpose. It does make the gravity 10k, which is really nice also.
Yeah. Interesting that he's on the Zodiac in this build. I don't think that'll be particularly great in this matchup, but it is a very cool card. Um,
So the theory in this deck is that he also used to play the Lightning Kuja backup, and the reason is a lot of times when he loses is because his character names get locked onto the board, and once they get locked in, he just kind of dies. So what he's been doing a lot of the times is going to be sacking his guys to his own kills on his own free will, right? So he did play the Kuja at some point, and now he gets to play the Zodiac so that he can cycle through his own names like Ishtora and
and like Thancred has a death trigger, right? So you can sack your
yeah,
Thancreds.
and Tiger has a death trigger, which is even better when you get to have the choice of yourself to activate it and get whatever you want. So that is the theory behind the way he plays the game.
Yeah. It'd be really cute if he was running the new Thancred, the 2 mana one, because that's just a card that you can just untap Zodiac with over and over again.
Yeah,
But obviously, sadly, it's not a Scion, so it's not nearly as synergistic. Especially when the main thing you want to be sacking with Zodiac,
it is
is
the other one.
Thancred. Yeah.
It makes just a
Yeah.
tiny bit.
Yeah. But Sydney's ramping out quite nicely here on the other side of the table.
Yeah, the city is looking really, really pretty here. He has everything he wants. Also, there was a point when I had to tell Sidney's like, hey, when you play Chaos Act, please don't go to 5 backups because at some point he has to sacrifice his own Astrologian to draw and then get a card, and then also to get the Chanteau 7 in play. He's had to. I seen him do it, and then I was like, hey, that's why you don't play 5 backups with this deck. Keep it as an option. People don't really talk about it very much, but it's actually a very big deal for you to play as a control deck, especially with one that doesn't want to like spend mana on other things other than the Chaos Lock to just Chanteau straight up on the board when you want to. You don't need to go to 5 backups, and so I hope he does. He's learned from that. So
Yeah. Yeah, I personally like to blow my Toto the very first opportunity I have that gives me any like realistic value. Because like if you wait too long to get like too much value out of your Shantoto, you just die.
yeah,
And the earlier you get it down, the quicker you don't feel bad about ramping to 5 backups.
yeah.
Um, I
Uh,
also the decks I play Tan Toto in though usually have some way to sacrifice my backups, so I have a
yeah.
way to
Also, that's
get her
the
off
other
the
thing,
board if I need.
and that's the next thing I was going to talk about. The in World specifically, right? Playing Chateau is amazing because you have the ways to reset it with your LBs through a removal even. So if you Vincent LB, you get you get to do a 9k ping if you sacrifice a fire backup.
Yep.
Chateau is a fire backup. So you get to sacrifice it and then reset yourself by 9King something and having an 8K first strike body on the board. It's pretty nice to have Vincent LB there in this situation even.
So it looks like Cory has decided that he wasn't really interested in playing Scions today. He actually knew that Chaos Ark's worst matchup is Mono Water.
Mono one.
So we got the 4 water backers from Cory. I don't know if that's good or not. On one hand, you are denying Sidney the second color. On the other hand, you're denying yourself the second color. I do think
Look,
you are eventually going to want a purple backup on the board, but it
look,
looks like he doesn't.
look, TK. Here's you and I are two players that how to say this. We play to win. We try to deny our opponent the most amount of advantage they can, and then try to close out the game. Right? These guys right now we're looking on stream. They're not like this. They're like, I want to do my thing. You get to do your thing. Let's all have this generous agreement. I'll have all the backers I want, all the value. You get all the backers you want, all the value you want, and then we'll go from there. That is their mentality. That is their theory how the game. So like you and I is really different from the guys that we're looking on stream.
Yeah. I will say that even though Chaos Arc is a control deck, um, ramping backups against Chaos Arc is actually a great strategy, right? Because if you don't have backups down, like you really make yourself more vulnerable to cards like the Shantotos and whatnot. And like Arc ripping your whole hand out isn't nearly as painful when you at least have the backups to be able to play whatever you top deck on the following turn.
Yeah, you
So
understand that.
it is correct to like ramp out some backups against Chaos Arc. The only thing is like being mono backups isn't always necessarily the place, right? Like as a 2 color deck, you're not that afraid of Chaos Arc, right? Chaos costing 7 is just it's just only a reasonable card at 7.
Uh, yeah, I don't think it is. I don't really think that he's trying to sing on modern one that guy,
He
to
just
be
hasn't
fair.
seen a purple one.
But he just hasn't seen the crowd, So it's like, it is what it is. I mean, that's actually one of the very biggest complaints about Scions and people who've played Scions and people who've competed with Scions is that say, hey, what the Scions is like the best shell around is Water Lightning, and all the folds are lightning, and all the
Oh
backups
boy.
are water. People's like, why
Yeah.
do this like this? It's so
Wait,
awkward. Like it really is like a
I'm
mystery
just
how to they designed all the backups to be water.
I just realized he's only on 4 lightning backups. What?
Yeah,
Why?
yeah, yeah,
Surely some of these astrologers should be like Reeves or Louis Swaz or something, right?
yeah.
Am I crazy?
Reeves is something he has played before, and that's something
But
that's just
he's running 1 copy.
yeah. It's he's a gambling man, like I said. Yeah. But he does want to get to the crowd. But again, the Reeves EX Reeves should you notice that I said EX Reeves. It's kind
It's
of
a good
important.
card. It's a really good card.
Pretty good card.
Most Water Lightning lists are on 3 copies of that.
Yeah,
So I was just a bit surprised.
yeah.
Um,
It's and again, his deck does change with the meta. Depending, he's always gonna be playing Warlords Scions, but depending
yeah,
how the meta goes, he changes his list and he adapts a little bit more to it. Depending on what he wins and loses to.
yeah. So we got Graha coming down. It looks like we're paying
Full
X2 as our kicker.
two. It's gotta be full. Three or four usually.
Usually,
Estinian,
I
please.
don't I don't.
Estinian full.
Uh, it looks
No.
like X is 0.
X is canceled.
That's always pretty rough when that happens.
Yeah, but then now you have the fourth body sound, and while Gravity isn't played, he's always gets to draw an extra one. So
Yeah. The question
Cory,
is, how much longer is Graha gonna be in play?
we imagine we're gonna die, but then uh, anytime you press on though, he always has access to the Tata draw.
Tataru is like arguably the best card in the deck. Just being able to refill your hand every turn, it allows a deck that like looks aggressive to like actually like really outgrind people.
Yeah, 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 and that's the trap. So once you play against a Scion deck, and then they go aggro, and then you kill them, and then you kill all the Scions, and then you beat them. You have the mindset that a Scion deck is just an all-in aggro deck, which is still true. It has very explosive openers, but the moment you go into a Scion player that sits back in Tataroos, that's when you realize like you don't get to play a single like you don't get to have a linear plan. You do have to like play around what they're doing, which is trying to get draws off the Tataru. So here, if you bounce the Grahatia and the Tataru, it hurts a lot.
Yeah. Well, luckily, like replaying Graha isn't that sad, right? It lets you
Yeah,
get some removal, right? You could maybe play like a Thancred here and just crack that Une.
yeah, yeah. But there's a tempo loss for one, and then Cory is not doing what Cory wants to do, which is draw off of Tataru. That's two, and then for three, everything costs mana. While at the same time, there is an Une that just came out on the board, so you want to do something about it at the same time. So it's just a good play that
Oh yeah,
forces action on Cory.
yeah. Like bouncing the Tataru, right? Like the ability to draw, it has summoning sickness, right? Like even if you had something to untap it, it doesn't matter because it needs to sit around the whole turn before you can use the ability to draw.
It's a
I
good demo.
what I imagine Corey would probably like to do here, it would be like probably just play the Tataru again. Oh, we got a
Oh,
crow.
he drew the crowd. Okay.
We have a purple backup. Let's go.
Hey.
The awkward thing is there's not that many pieces of removal to deal with this Une here. There's
There's just Sancreds.
it's just Thancred and Zoralja, right?
Yeah.
So we have access to Thancred through um the uh
Right here.
the Arianje we just bounced. Not
Hmm.
the Arianje, the
Gracia.
The Graha. They all have the same name. I'm sorry. They all look the same. All Catboys are the same to me. I guess Ariane isn't a Catboy. He's like an elfy thing.
He's an Ellison. What is what they call it, I guess.
I do not know. I'm sorry to all the 14 people. The only time I've played 14 was when it was in Monster Hunter.
Oh, he has
Okay,
it.
but
Okay,
well, we just hard drew the Thancred.
nice.
Um, Interesting. We didn't play the Tataru first here because right now, if we like use Anima to kill the Thancred in response, we will not get the Une break.
Yeah,
I would have thought that he would play the Tataru first to make sure that we have the insurance on that.
yeah,
Because we really do not want Sidney to have like that's like losing the game on the spot of Sidney as Une and I mean not sorry, Une Anima in hand.
yeah. That'd be tragic.
Heck, depending on how many cards Sidney has in hand, he might just arc here. Although the problem is if you kill the Thancred, it will bring back a Scion in response usually, which would then allow the trigger to still resolve.
Yeah,
So it would need to be like exactly Anima basically. So we're missing the break zone. Looks like we're trying to draw it. Notably, there is 2 water lightnings in that break zone too. So looks like we're bringing one of those out because we
yeah.
don't want to
In
lose them
response,
all.
and he gets to draw. And that was in response to the Mist Dragon. So Mist Dragon's not in the graveyard yet.
Yeah. So, are we doing anything else? It looks like we're
Yeah,
cracking or bringing back Alf.
yeah.
Okay, we really want to make sure that Thancred
The
resolves.
he's also just mitigating the Mist Dragon losses here. That's what he's
Yeah.
doing.
Although if Miss Dragon also breaks it back up while it's at it, I don't really mind that.
Yeah.
Okay, Une is gone.
So now has a bolt.
So now we're threatening what 2 points of damage here. One with the lightning and one with the Y'shtola hasting one of the other 2.
Yeah.
But now we drop the Mist Dragon. And Sidney might just Toto LB him next turn.
Tataru for Tataru? Okay, he has it. Cool, nice. Oh,
No, that's a good hit.
yo.
And Thancred coming in too.
Can you imagine if it's 2 chaos? Well, that would be tragic.
Could you imagine if he hit 2 bursts? That would be the Sidney I know.
Yeah, that'd be the thing that then we know and love.
Yeah, I imagine just Toto's coming down here. Like you gotta deal with this, right? He's threatening to kill you next turn.
Yeah, pitch pitch some Earthbound.
Just any 2 Earth cards gets you there.
Yeah.
Icon to damage wasn't actually that bad for Sidney. That was something he didn't want to draw anyway.
Yeah. Not Toto? Question mark?
Okay, I mean he's going in the LB deck, so surely.
Surely.
Yep, there she is. There's the girl. So we'll probably just tap 4 backups for the first half, and then tap 1 and pitch 2 for the second. Unless there's some card in our hand that we want to save backups up for, like an Anima or something.
Yeah. Remove half the city.
Yeah, so goodbye 8 LB cards. But I'm willing to pay 8 to win the game. I don't know about you.
100%. Especially he's down 0-1. You know, you want to get yourself
Yeah.
on the board. You know, also being able to lock out the chaos lock will free up Aiko from your LB, for example, right?
Yeah.
There you go. Cory's not super excited about it, but he does have a tattoo in play, and he does have how many Scions?
3. He has 3 Scions.
Yep.
So he's looking for one more sign name. He would have had enough sign names if not for the fact that he sacrificed Alphinaud last turn.
Yeah. So what did you draw? Did you go a Scion?
There's another Graha in hand.
Mm-hmm.
So we're probably gonna get the Graha down, but the thing is, there's not really anything in his break zone that he's interested in, like grabbing back with a Stinian.
Yeah.
So that's not necessarily great. And Thancred killing Toto is like arguably beneficial for Sidney because it allows him to, you know, cast a main deck Toto.
Ooh, cancel levy. Well done. There you go.
Wow. Uh,
And then he's gonna draw off of it
yeah,
after the attacker. There you go.
yeah. It is just not Graha's day. Both Grahas have been 7 mana. Your opponent discards 2 cards. Although the first one just discarded 1 because Sidney hit the backups up.
Mm-hmm. He at least it was a 2/4 so it's not the worst.
Yeah. Yeah, they both basically just discarded 2 cards. But the Tatari like got it kind of refunded 1. Notably, Graha is currently in 9K, so he does trade with Toto if she attacks.
He's +3. When he
Oh,
has
wait, sorry. Oh, it's 10K. I knew he was
yeah.
buff. Okay, he's a thick boy.
He's massive, bro.
Yeah,
He's massive.
yeah. Oh, I forgot the Cryal's buffing him too. That's what I was missing. Okay.
No. So the crowd gets +1.
Oh no, so he's 11K. He's 11K.
Yeah.
We were both wrong.
He's massive.
He's enormous.
Yeah.
Not to mention, you can tap the Cryal to make him deal even more damage.
Yeah. That is, however, an option that he's probably not going to be gonna do anytime soon. But yes.
Yeah, I don't think there's much reason to be going above 11.
The only thing that does more 11 is it's some of the crazy summons, like the Bahamut, like the crazy Bahamut, and then you have the and you have you have the 15K Bahamut. But yeah, that's
Yeah.
no reason to.
Yeah. Well, this card's like if you want to kill like a Galoof or something. Not that there's a Galoof in Sidney's deck. So at this point, surely we just lead with the Tatari draw, right? We just want to see what our options are for the turn.
Yeah, you should always just draw first and see what happens.
Yeah. Unless you like really think, well, I'm going to need this water backup this turn. But I think he's got enough water backups on board that it's like not a big deal.
Yes.
Especially considering there's like nothing water he wants to actually cast.
Other than Titus, correct?
Yeah, true. I have a feeling we're not casting Titus this turn. Yeah, we've got a lot of options here. Taking Toto.
He wants to borrow a Toto.
Are we graphing this, or are we slamming the Zodiark and sacrificing her? Zodiark is a very risky card to put on the board in this matchup.
I wouldn't do it. There's really no.
I mean, removing Sidney's break zone from the game is nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But
that's a pretty big hit. Holy, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was actually massive. Him losing a chaos and then now the Mist Dragon. He's just gonna graph, just nothing too fancy. We're just gonna go and graph. I respect that.
Yes. Yeah, so we'll just pitch one, dull the Astrologian, and then we'll get rid of the Toto. Poor Toto, removed from the game. Back to the LB deck.
To be fair, though, she's also a culprit. She has removed a lot of things in the game, from.
Yes.
You
know, if there was one LB I could delete from the game, I'm just saying. But
as the D premium monster point, you don't say so.
I personally think it's extremely rude to cast Toto. I wonder if Sidney's gonna end Cory's turn by casting some kind of summon. Okay, there we go. Remora? So he's gonna go to how many cards in hand?
4. So -8.
-8. So he doesn't actually kill it. He just wants to cycle a card.
Yep. That's one way of going about it.
Yeah. He was probably hoping to block with the Toto and then shrink in response. But Melusine was like, not on my watch.
That was one of the most expensive 5 backup tapping for a cantrip. You know,
Yeah.
he had the option to, but you know, that's
I don't think I've ever seen a Chaos Arc player as incapable of drawing Chaos Arc as Sidney. What turn is it? And he hasn't assembled the combo yet?
it was like what, turn 8, turn 9?
Yeah, I swear. Like every time I play against Chaos Arc, they have it on turn 2.
Yeah, so people are good at the game, you know. Some
Yeah, well,
people
we're
are not.
drawing a card. Are we trying to go for a main deck Toto here? Looks
Yeah,
like it.
yeah, there you go.
Sadly, we did this in arguably the wrong order. I mean, it's you can't really do it in the other order, but the fact that there's a monster on board to live the second one is unfortunate for Sidney. Because
Yeah,
he's at damage 3, and this Melusine's gonna keep poking him.
yo,
Luckily for him, Cory hasn't found like a Lena, so like any bursts he hit will actually be pure value. But the way things have been going, he's just gonna hit his second chaos into damage.
okay, so don't say this. Don't say this much. You were cursing him. Don't do it.
I
Don't
mean,
do it.
like Sidney hit a bunch of EX bursts the last time he played chaos against a Sid Waff on field, but uh, I believe there's 19 bursts in this deck, so Sidney's definitely low rolling right now.
No. Not just this. He has actually walked up to me and say, "D, I have 19 EX bursts in my deck. Why am I not hitting some of these?" And I was like, "I don't want to tell you, man. Sometimes you roll high. Sometimes you just don't roll at all. You know." But yeah, we definitely played a couple games the other night, and that was one thing he said. Like, this deck has 19 bursts. How come I'm not hitting any of them? You know, like, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Elena. We were just talking about it. There she is. She's gonna make
Shit.
things a lot more smooth.
Yep. And say I called it. Called shot. And arc into damage. No. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Sidney.
This is the guy
I
said, "That's on you, but that's on you, man. You did it to me. You
I
did it to me."
I brought up the Lena right before the Lena gets played into the chaos and the arc.
Oh my god. So Sidney's playing Earth Water Control. he's playing Earth Water Control. He's not playing Chaos Arc Bros.
He's playing Earth Water Control with 6 bricks.
Holy.
Oh no, poor Sidney. Are we going? Is it even worth going back into the LB deck, or do we just call it a day? Dear Lord.
Is it possible for him to win? Yes. At the same time, it has to be through deck out because he
It was
draws.
always going to be through deck out.
Yeah, he draws so much in his deck. Like,
Yeah.
what do you have to aggro with a Siren and an Une? Like, it's just not what he wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have so few threats to swing into the Silence deck, and also the Silence does have a lot. He does have Odins there, so it's never safe for you to just go in. If he's gotta win this, it's gotta be a very very long, tedious, grindy matchup.
Okay. So I see we have another Une in Sidney's hand, which we could commit to the board. Maybe bounce like this. You hate bouncing Alize, but like, there's since considering you just missed Dragon the breakdown, and we're scooping it up. Sidney's done. Sydney had 2 chaoses hit to damage, and he's like, actually, actually, no, I'm not actually interested in playing this out.
I'm gonna be right back.
Oh my god. Oh no. Yeah, Sidney definitely feels like he needs to shuffle that deck before he touches it again. He's like, this has been extremely unfortunate. So we're going into game 3. We're gonna have Bartz versus Mono Ice. That is a very interesting matchup. Mono ice, dependent. Let me check Cory's mono ice list to see whether or not it's aggressive or if it's more of a control style. Real quick. Let me pull up the lists. Mono. It's in here. Cory mono ice. So with the list up, okay, so this is a bit more aggressive, but still, he's got the 7 mana Kurosame. So he's got the capacity to go aggressive with cards like the 5 cost Charlotte and Laswell and Rufus, but he's also has the ability to ramp out backups and slam down a Kurosame to try and win the game. But in the whole, I would say this is a much more aggressive list than we saw from Christian during the last match. He's got the Snowblinka in there too. Just like, is this Ghoul's list? There's no way this is Ghoul's list. Is this Ghoul's list from Worlds? It's very reminiscent of Ghoul's list from Worlds, but I don't think it is. Let's see. Worlds 2025. It's not Ghoul's list from Worlds, but it has a lot of the same cards and ratios. Okay. So yes, a much more aggressive, more like mono ice tempo list than most of the people are running. So that can be a little bit rough for Refia control, specifically the Bart's version, right? Because normally when Refia's setting up, it can use burst to get some resources back, and it has the ability to rebuild its hand. But when you're using Bart's to set up, it's kind of like you discarded 2 cards for your consistency. So when you pair that 2 cards discarded on top of ice hitting your resources, hitting your hand, ripping all those cards out, it adds up, and you don't have the same cushion that like a regular Refia control deck will have against these more aggressive ice lists. So see if Sidney can start pulling this back in his favor. It's been a bit of a rough couple games for him so far, but Lena is a good first backup. You never hate to see a Lena turn 1.
Yeah, so the other thing about the Belts deck is like in general, it is just a better deck. I've talked to Mike Paul yesterday, and I talked to Goal yesterday, and I asked them both the same questions, like how do you feel about the Belts versus Refia in terms of the meta, and they both say right now Belts is just better, right? So I agree with them, of course, but also it's just like the opinion of those two guys specifically is just very very relevant because they are some of the best Refia players in the world,
Yeah,
and they've mentioned that right now it has all the advantage over it. However, in this very specific matchup, which is mono ice versus the belts, the belts is very exposed, right? Because once you play belts, you kind of want to like be alive for like a turn or two. Now, mono ice has a very specific card named Victoria in LB, and you can always hit that belt for 7k. However, as a rapid player, you will know it's like, yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and hold one more card to not get hit by the Victoria. But the moment they just go Rufus, thank you, discard that last card. And
yeah,
then you do the card, you get down 2, and then you're like, ah, well, that's I have 2 cards in hand, and you go Victoria. It's just it happens every time. And then you lose it, and then on top of this, now you have like 2 cards in hand, you draw into 4, but then you don't have the time magic anymore. And then at the worst of all this, there's a Rufus in play that's going to keep doing this to you every single turn. And there's not a lot of way else other than hitting gigantic EX bursts and getting back into the game. It's a very rough matchup.
yeah. So it looks like Sidney's just going to 2 backups, 5 cards in hand. But Cory slammed 2 backups turn 1, 2 very good backups turn 1, and he might just be aiming to slam a Seymour here. This keeps happening to Sidney against these ice decks where they play 2 backups turn 1 and they play Seymour turn 2. So knowing his luck, there's a Seymour coming down right here. And as the Refia player, you just hate to see Seymour in this situation. While the deck technically has ways to remove Seymour, right? Like Sidney could, play Bart's and then time magic out of Refia and then go to combat, untap your backups and spin the Seymour. That feels awful, man. It does not feel good. You do not want to be doing that. That's extremely expensive.
You do not want to
uh,
be doing this at all. It's actually so bad
okay.
that during when we were having breakfast earlier this morning, Sidney proposed to Christian It's like, hey man, you want to have a gentleman's agreement? Then we just don't play Simo decks this game, this series. And then Christian's like, no, I'm good, fam.
So, Charlotte is very interesting here. Forcing Sidney to have all of his forwards enter dull is not ideal for Sidney, who wants to be ramping backups here. But he does, like, similar to what I mentioned he could do against Seymour. He could do that same line right here against the Charlotte, except it feels a lot less painful, um, considering he won't have to have discarded a card first. Um, Although Charlotte really, you have to discard a card when you target her, correct?
uh,
So that's
mm, not just. It is discount. I think this is the cancel on the street discount one.
yeah,
So Charlotte is very very good. So what she actually says is when Charlotte is chosen by your opponent's summons abilities, your opponent doesn't discard one, cancel its effect. So she protects herself. But then more importantly, she says when a character enters your opponent's field, dull it and freeze it. So despite the fact that backups come into play dull already, it also frees them, which furthers taxes a Refia player who wants to use their backups on the next turn. So Charlotte
yeah,
is a very, very oppressive card against a deck that has very soft early game removal package in the form of the Warrior of Light.
yeah. So unless Sydney has like exactly a Shantoto here in his hand, this is going to be really annoying for him to deal with. Like we know he has the Barts, right? So worst case scenario, he like plays Barts, brings out a Refia, and then goes to combat, untaps everything, and then spins Charlotte and discards a card. But like you don't want to do that. That feels like shit,
Yeah.
right? Like that's really expensive. And
Also,
even
look at
then,
this, right?
when
Normally, look at Sidney right now. He's doing complicated math. Normally, you do complicated math in mid to late game scenarios where there's a ball full of things. This guy's doing complicated math with two backups in play, bro.
yeah,
You know the rough situation when you're doing this.
yeah. Okay, so Bartz is now entered, and Charlotte triggers and Dull freezes him. We're specialing. What are we bringing out? Wait, what is he doing?
I'm confused.
Why does he put the other Barts on the field?
I think he's showing him something. I think it was just showing him text on it because he asked, possibly. I'm not sure.
It's also possible Cindy's just like, well, yeah, Charlotte Dull freezes all my characters when they enter, but she's not actually applying any real damage pressure, so we can afford to just take our time, ramp out the backups, and then get to uh, Refia when we get to Refia.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 triggers go on the stack. Charlotte will resolve her Dull freeze before the Warrior's Light flips top 5. And like when Refia does enter the board, right, she is going to be able to untap all of our stuff. So it's like not
Yep.
as painful.
Yep, it's not as bad. What matters the most is what Cory top decks. If he top decks Curious Ever right now, it's gonna be painful for the development of the Warrior of Lights.
Yeah.
If he top deck something to kill the belts also, it's also gonna be painful for him.
Well, to
So
be
it's,
fair, if he top decks a Kurosama here, right, Cory would have to discard his whole hand to cast it, and it
yeah,
would only rip out 3 cards. But that's
yeah,
no different than say like a Wolf 7 player top decking Wolf 7, and you're forced to Amot it with no backups up, right?
that's
Right.
fair.
It's basically Amotting itself for you, right? Except that you always have the Amot. Um, I mean, obviously, as Sydney, you do not want to be discarding 3 cards from your hand when you're playing against the resource denial deck. But like, there's worse things that can happen.
Yeah, but he
Okay,
flipped
and we're
belt, so he gets to go back into it again, and he's developed his both very very well here. He has full calls, which is amazing.
yeah, and Cory can try to Victoria the Barts here because Sydney only has 2 cards in hand. But I believe there's enough Warrior of Lights in Sydney's break zone. Specifically, there's enough Bartses in that
And he,
break zone that Sydney can just remove a couple and Barts will live.
yeah,
Um,
I don't think he does too much right now.
yeah, it's always funny because you don't think that Bartz's body is that valuable. Um, but just having an extra Warrior of Light name for either Wall LB or for Refia actually is extremely relevant.
Mm-hmm.
Right, because now when you're using Refia, you get to use one less backup to do it. So it's kind of like he generates one CP every turn.
So what did we draw here? What did we play here? What is the best case scenario for Sidney? I mean, for Cory.
The best case for Cory is, I don't know, probably a Laswell, because that will get a Dull Freeze on another backup, and it will force a discard out.
A Xenos is also a very good hit right now for if there's like any relevant names for the. Oh, okay, this is not bad.
I mean, okay. What do you think he's gonna grab here?
He has Sid Wolf and he has the Wolf. So it's just either the free one or it's going to be Edward himself.
Okay. I'd also think, is he gonna do Edward, or is he thinking about Laswell? Maybe he's thinking about going to 5 backups.
Yeah, he's looking at it right. He's looking at Edward. I guessed it.
I'm honestly shocked we didn't go for the Laswell, right? Dolfrey's another backup. I love Laswell. I mean, let me phrase this. I hate Laswell, but Laswell is just such a
Such a
card. Let's just
nuisance.
put it that way. Such a nuisance. And like right now, when you have the Charlotte on board, like you want to be pressuring your opponent down. And like Charlotte is a knight, right? So when she attacked, that would have triggered Laswell's discard, right? So it would have denied both a
That is
card from Sydney's
that
hand
is
and
correct.
Dolfro's another backup.
And she has
Like,
already attacked, so that's not too much else is gonna happen. And she has attacked. She lived through the EX because well, there's not a lot of
yeah.
defensive EX. It's just value EX in the Refia deck. So he would have definitely just should have just
Yeah.
got the extra.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
on
and then the following turn you can then like play Heretical Knight Garland, freeze 3 more backups, right? Like just constantly deny Cory the resources. Now the one danger of that is if Sidney has the Barts in hand, right, he can then like play Refia straight from deck and then get rid of the Laswell. But then like Laswell's done his job already, right? Dolph rose 1 backup and then also ripped a card out and then also forced you to use the Refia spin on it. That's that's pretty good.
Yeah. Right now the battle is honestly the battle is hinging on when Sydney is going to drop the Refia here,
Is this it?
which is
Well,
now.
which is now. Yep. So he's gonna go to
Oh.
combat, and he's gonna untap all 5 and draw a card. You hate to see it if you're a Cory fan. The question is, do you spin here, or do you
Uh,
pass?
I 100% do not spin. I want to see what my opponent does because the only lightning rod in Mono Ice is Charlotte himself, the 2-drop, and he cannot
Yeah.
drop Charlotte's in play. So I want to just wait and see what else drops on the ground.
He also does not have a Charlotte, the 2-cost Charlotte in the deck, so
Yeah,
there's
because
no
he's
potential
trying to
lightning
farm
rod.
board one.
So we're up to 4 cards in Cory's hand. Kurosame will be much more brutal now, probably. But the thing is, even if you Kurosame here, it only really discard 2 cards because in response, you would just like use Refia to spin the Charlotte. You'd have to discard for that anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Also, by prolonging the spin till later, it means that he has 3 cards to protect from Victoria on his Refia.
Yeah.
So there's an argument just to not even spin at all, just so that way you can keep Refia alive.
Dovlinka. Hey, look,
Dovlinka.
it's a Ghoul's
Looks
favorite card.
Ghoul's favorite aggressive card. So considering Griffey is dying anyway, we're definitely going to spin here. Question is, which one do we remove? Looks like the Charlotte, which makes sense. She's not a nice girl. Yeah.
She's annoying. She is definitely annoying.
And we're discarding Zidane for it. Notably, we are going to need to find a way to deal with Snowblinka because since we chose damage, she's going to start balking us really hard, right? Oh no, that's only if you choose the other effect, right? So she's only attacking for regular damage.
Mm-hmm. There's the Edward.
Okay, and we're using Bart's. We're gonna surely City won't whiff again, right? Okay, we're good. Looks like we're grabbing the Seraph FL here. It makes sense. When you have Bart's on field, Seraph FL just lets you
Get anything you
grab,
want.
yeah, gets anything you want. It also lets you thin the light Barts out of your deck, which is nice because I know Sidney's on 2 light Bartses, so he doesn't want to draw that second card later on when he doesn't have the green Barts on board. It is a little bit expensive though, and it does limit your ability to cast Shantoto LB later on. Of course, Seraphel can just sacrifice yourself for effectively no value, but you can't do that if you focus her with your dull freezes. It looks like we drew the light Barts, so we could just use the Seraphel for crystal points to play another Seraphel, then even more good cards out of our deck. Grab Wave Light. I imagine we grab another Bart, so we just grab the Refia. We're just going straight for the Refia.
He's locking the game up right now. This is what
Yeah.
he's playing.
He doesn't feel like using any more middlemen. Like, why use Tide Magic when you can just get the real thing, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, like, right now he needs nothing else. He has everything he wants. All he needs is just more Amaterasu. So things that
Yeah.
draws him cards is exactly what he's digging for.
Yeah. Also, by holding out, by not searching a Bart's there and leaving any other Bartses that may be left in the deck, it means that when he top decks them later, it's anything he wants. Whereas just grabbing the Refia here means that the rest of his deck is more live than it otherwise
Yeah,
would be.
and he already has everything he wants, so it's exactly
Yeah.
what he wants to be at.
Probably putting Snowblink on top. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Dark Girl right into damage. And yeah. So this is the part of the game where you go into the Refia spin cycle.
This is the
It's like
unfun part.
yeah, it's like being stuck in a washing machine, except for it even feels worse. Ghouls mentioned this often in his videos, but Refia often gets into this position where you have already won the game, and there's nothing your opponent can do about it but watch you win the game. But it takes like 5 to 6 turns for you to actually deal lethal damage because there's not
Yeah,
really any incentive to be like attacking with the Barts here or attacking with the Refia here, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
so
I mean,
you just poke with the wall every turn. Like in a normal game, you'd also maybe like play some LBs that can chip in for some damage. But here, Sidney has even less incentive to go into that LB deck and start pulling cards out. So I expect him to basically kill Cory by 1,000 cuts over the course of the next like 6 turns.
yeah. I mean, to be fair though, he could swing out with some of his warrior, but he really cared to. I don't think he cares to, but wall being in play already is going to like speed up the clock instead of like going to like 5 6 turns. It will be like 3 turns.
Yeah,
Yeah, to be fair.
yeah, yeah. He could also, if he ever finds a Ferris, he can get the Ferris down to kill any blockers, and then haste the Ferris, and then that'll help speed up the clock too, right?
Yeah. So right now, Corey's options is not very great. No matter what he does, Sidney is always gonna have the potential to Amaterasu whatever he drops. Uh, and then yeah. So he spent 7 for this curse. I mean, we're just gonna get rid of the hand at the very least, but he's also going to lose it in the process.
I
So
mean, if there's an Ama in Sidney's hand, it's not actually getting rid of the hand; it's discarding 1 card.
yeah.
Oh,
So
well,
he's gonna have,
there was not an Ama, so I got rid of the whole hand. But Kurosame is going to be taking a vacation to the top of the deck,
yeah.
and we're going to see him very shortly. Oh, and using the light bars after the Kurosame resolves is also extremely mean because he's like, actually, no, you didn't actually get rid of my whole hand.
Yeah.
Like, in
Although
theory, you're supposed to discard 5 cards, but it just did not.
so we got to see what Amaterasu goes to the bottom of the deck. There's a chance he drew one, but it's just
I don't think it matters at this point.
yeah, it's just so hard to come back into a refa game like this.
Goodbye, Breakzone.
It was good knowing you.
Mm-hmm. I imagine we're probably just going to haste something, or we're just going to shoot ourselves. Okay, that works too. We just needed a fourth warrior of light doll.
To get the drop.
Yeah, curse arm into damage. We knew he was there, so not exactly surprising. And Sidney's decided that he's tired of waiting. He wants to win this game now.
Yeah. 1 plus 3 is going to be 7, so that's the plan. Let's see what he does, yeah.
Yep.
If you lose,
So,
don't burn LB. If you're
yeah.
guaranteed to be dead, don't burn LB.
Well, we got the Seymour.
Okay, fair enough.
We're probably going to try to, break the Refia, Dole Freeze, Warrior of Light, and one of the backups? Usually you want to be Dole Freezing the Sarah FFL. Sidney said, actually, I'm not even going to wait for you to declare all your modes. I'm not. We both know what's happening here.
He drew it. Yep, easy. And just end the game.
Oh, wait, why did Seymour...
He's taking
no, he told Warrior of Light. Yep, okay.
He's
like, yeah, you can actually, you can keep that, that Seymour in hand. It's not doing anything at this point, and we're getting in for game.
There you go. Easy pull up.
Nice. Okay, so glad that we got to get a win on Sydney's side, because I want this game, I want this to go to 5 or 7 games, right? I want to see both of their decks being pushed to their limits.
And the way they're going right now, it's looking like it's looking that direction.
Yeah. So at this point, all of the gamers have decided that they're tired of playing multiple elements. So we have 2 mono deck matches coming up. We got the Mono Fire Mirror and Mono Wind versus Mono Earth. Who do you think is favored in the Mono Fire Mirror? Do you think it's Mono Fire or Mono Fire?
I've seen them both play. And I feel like Cory has played more time on the deck. Does that make him better at it? I'm not sure, but he has played more time on the deck. And then I had to flame Sidney yesterday. On Friday night, I saw he had 5 cards in hand at some point with Mono Fire, and he had 3 backups in play, and he decided to pass. And I was just like, that's interesting. He wants to save the Zonde in his hand so he gets like triggers and stuff. And he did that for 3 turns. His opponent developed backups. Then he didn't develop backups because he's waiting for forwards to be played. And then he was literally just playing forwards instead of playing his Zonde. And I was like, you could just play his Zonde. You would have played the next 2 armor for free. And he was like, yeah, maybe I should have done that. I'm like, yeah, you should have done that. You're putting Mono Fire, bro. Like at the end of the day, if you get 5 backups, you're looking very good. Even if you don't get like all the damaging triggers, off of them. Just so. The next day, I watched him and he played it where he will actually go out of his way to get the backups in, right? So it was a lot better. It looked a lot sharper and cleaner and stuff. So these are both players that know what they're doing. So I imagine we'll have a good game here. That's very even.
Yeah. It really depends on the matchups whether or not you should just be like jamming your Zondes and your VVs and your Mont Blancs early. It really depends if you really think that you're going to need that removal. So if you're playing against something like Knights, it's usually better to like hold it because you know that they're going to commit something for it to die. But a lot of the time, like as the modifier gamer, you just want your backups down, right? You just want the resource generation over like any specific removal.
You want to threaten the Montleone's LB.
Yeah.
And they have to respect it. And they have to play around it. They have to play in a way that they don't just die to it. That's what you need to do. Hey, he did it. My boy, he did it. He did it. He saw it. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm so proud.
This is he played this only without getting an actual damage trigger because yeah.
I mean, there's not really any reason for Sidney to shoot himself turn 1 as well.
Yeah.
I have played decks where I jammed a turn 1 Zonde and just hit myself because I just want to take damage, but this is not one of those decks and definitely not one of those matchups.
It's not one of those matchups.
Yeah. Looks like Cory's ramping out to 3 backups turn 1.
Elwin for Elwin. Okay, that's fair enough. Although the Amateur was a questionable pitch, but If the last gunner is sent on 2 backups, then I guess I respect it.
Yeah. Wait. Did Cory discard Elwyn for Elwyn?
Yeah.
There's only one Elwyn in his list.
Hmm? Is it?
Yeah.
He might have updated it
Okay.
and not done it on the website. I asked him to update on the website if he's gonna do that, but does he really have one?
I mean, I'm on Warlord 2 Mono Fire for Cory G.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah, it's one on his list. Yeah, he needs to update it. He might have made the change on Friday nights.
Oh wait, I think he pitched to Joshua. It just looked like Elwyn because the background was the
That's
same.
Joshua? Oh, okay.
Okay, there we go. Unless I missaw something else.
But the left side of the card looks the same. It's like
Exactly, because he's got the generic mono. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
It's a Joshua. It's a Joshua. Okay. I swear it looked like Elwyn. I thought it was Elwyn.
Yeah,
Right? Like.
when you
Okay.
mentioned it, I saw the same thing. I was like, oh, that is an Elwyn. And then
Yeah.
it is not an Elwyn. Okay.
Okay. It's just the 1-mana Joshua. He sees less play nowadays than the 3-mana one, so sometimes you forget he exists.
Yeah. They're both relevant, honestly, though. So I don't know. The one's not bad. The three's not bad either. Either way, they both cost 4 mana to prime into the Phoenix. So
Yeah. And looks like Sidney's not getting the backups he wants. Oh, never mind. He's just clouding to free play a backup.
Yeah. Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, that's a lot better. It also makes sense if, for instance, if he didn't have any other backups in his hand. Normally, when going second, if you go even cost backup into odd cost backup,
Yeah.
going second, you have 6 cards left in hand, and that can be awkward. By committing the cloud to the board, it costs him an extra card, so he knows that he's not gonna have to discard like he normally would. Actually, costs you 2 extra cards, but same idea.
Either way, it's a body that he got for 1 mana and with
Yep.
backup, so it's a really good deal.
Yep.
Because he gets to draw from the remove too, and then he gets to draw from the backup itself, and then it's just good value.
Yeah. It's also nice ripping the Amat out of the break zone because you don't want to have Terra pulling that back later.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like we're going to be ejecting.
We're doing 9K versus 9K, is what we're doing?
9K versus 9K. So Cloud effectively discarded a card. And, whoa, we're sacrificing? Really?
Okay.
I'm surprised. It is nice having Jekt live, but Jekt dying isn't necessarily bad, right? Because it lets you just play another one later. Why? Why didn't we just human first? That would have discounted Jekt by 1. Could have left it back up open.
Sidney pointed at you, I think. He's like, you should bro.
Also, humans mandatory? No!
Oh my god.
No! Why did we? Oh my god, Cory, no!
That's tragic.
Oh
Reading the card,
no!
reading your cards is very important. Turns out, ladies and gentlemen,
So
Cory was doing a demonstration on exactly what to not do with modifier. And also, he's trying to give you a lesson overall. Well, you should read the cards that you play. If it says deal damage, sometimes it doesn't say open, and sometimes it's not an option. And if it is the case, then you make sure that you don't die in the process. Okay.
yes, so yeah, playing human first both would have left us with 1 untapped backup, but also would have caused us, if we wanted to end up in the same board state, to still have Selfie on board, right? We could have Montleonis here, right? We would have had 5 backups.
Yeah.
Selfie died for nothing. You hate to see it.
Selfie died for Cory's sins.
Selfie died for a learning lesson. This is a lesson we can all learn from. To be fair, I have killed my own forwards to my own Vincents and Mont Blancs, but usually when I'm doing that, I'm killing something that I don't mind killing.
He spent the
Rough.
kelp. to save it too. That's the worst of it. He spent the energy to like save it. You know, it was like a
Yeah.
um.
Oof. Just oof. There's no other word for it. So, despite the fact that basically nothing has happened in this game, it's been very entertaining.
Yes, yes.
So we're committing Clive to board? Interesting. What do we... Surely we keep the backup in hand, right? Okay. Then we tap 2. So we want to start aggressing. I will say, if Clive manages to draw 2 cards, which he is in this case, he is extremely efficient. Now, any removal that Sidney spends on Clive is likely going to cost more than the Clive did himself. But considering that looks like we're probably not using these 2 backups this turn, it's kind of like the Clive cost 6 and not 4.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily that efficient.
Yeah. So in terms of efficiency, I don't think there's it made any difference here. All we really did was just to cycle through all decks, which is in
Yeah.
this case, if your hand is bad and you want to cycle through, then that was a very good situation for Cory.
Yeah, but the issue is Mono Fire can very easily go to deck out. So like drawing cards is not necessarily beneficial.
Yeah.
Um, I also want to point out that Sidney does have Lebro on his field, so all of his forwards do have that 1k bonus, which often doesn't seem like much, but when you're playing the mirror match and like you're all playing the same forwards, the fact that Sidney's like Clifford's like live like they're 11ks and they survive all the 10k shots is extremely relevant.
Not just that, yesterday, so Cory was Sidney. So Sidney had a 7K in play and with the Lebro, right? And Cory decided to pull out his LB deck, and then Mike was like, Cory, please, that thing's not a 7K. And then Cory proceeded to play the Victor and then ping it for 7K. And then Sidney had to point out that it is not a 7K. And then yeah, Mike was like, Cory, don't do this to us. It was a very long day, and then everyone was tired and stuff. So it's easy to forget and miss, but it was rough. It was
Yeah.
very rough seeing
Yeah.
it.
So
Well, that's a lot of that's a lot of gas there.
yeah, that's a lot of good cards right there. I'm a bit surprised we didn't just dole 4 backups for this Joshua Phoenix line
Yeah.
instead of discarding a card. Uh, I'm not sure what we have in hand that made us go, you know what, we really need to save these cards. If it's just an Amat, like we could just cast the Amat this by the same amount on our opponent's turn just by discarding that 1 card, that Ifrit that we saved for the Joshua.
Yeah.
And in this matchup, usually you just want to hold resources. Looks like we were already planning on playing the Clive anyway.
Okay.
And but usually I would like to play the Clive first. The reason being that not the Clive, the Cloud first, because the card we're drawing off of Cloud would give
It's
us
random.
more information. Yeah, it's random, right? So it would give us more information to help us determine what cards we should be picking up off of the Phoenix. Whereas vice versa, we pick the cards off the Phoenix. Now, when we draw off Cloud, we might hit the exact same card that we uh, searched, not searched, but scryed into. And in that case, you're like Sidney now would know what card to play around, even if you have 2 copies.
Yep.
Not to mention, just having a variety of cards in hand is generally better than having duplicates. Like we're not playing poker.
That's yes. The- yes. Yeah. Thank you, TK.
No,
um,
I'm just trying to make comments. I'm trying to make the stream lively. I don't know what to say.
sir, you're very appreciated. You're doing a fantastic job at keeping us entertained here, good sir. Uh,
Okay.
so the other thing about this line of play that we're looking at for Corey is that if you do discard the first one and you have one, and then you go to do the Phoenix play, you're representing the Amaterasu as one of the cards. But right now, like Cine knows that Corey's trying to mitigate the Monleones here by removing some specific targets. It's
Yeah. Yeah. So at this point, now that they're both at 5 backups, they're both threatening to do a Montleonis. Now Cory has 3 cards in hand, so I didn't see. Did he grab an Amat off of the Phoenix last turn? I was not paying attention.
I don't think he did. Oh, did he?
Which means
Was
if he
did he
didn't,
show that
then
I don't
then
think he showed
Sidney.
that at all.
Yeah, I don't think he flipped an Amat, right? So in that case, um, Sidney basically knows that there's realistically no shot that Cory has Amat in hand. It would need to be exactly the card he drew off of the cloud, which is I'm willing to take that gamble. So if you want an opportunity where you feel safe to drop a Montleonis on the board and start swinging, this could be it. But the only issue with doing that is I think you have to basically go handless for that. And in that case,
You do have to have a map of your own so that you
yeah,
don't get cut back by by the opponent's
exactly. Yeah,
bounty.
you can just get clapped back, which isn't great to say the least.
And a lot of times the following the clapback is usually a lot more powerful than the opening one. So like unless you have the Amazon, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah. So right now here with the cloud, you probably want to try and get all of the I guess if we're killing him anyway. But I was gonna say if we weren't killing Phoenix, which we obviously are, you'd want to remove all of the icons out of the break zone to deny the Phoenix's special, right? Like being able to play Ifrit for just tapping him and paying a little bit. I think it's 4 is getting a 3 mana discount on your Ifrit is quite nice.
It's nice.
So the question is here: does Cory remember that Sidney has LeBron on field? Because these clouds will not trade.
These clouds.
One of these clouds is a little thicker than the other. He ate his Wheaties this morning.
He's made that mistake yesterday. Let's see, he's learned from he's learned the lessons from the past.
Yeah. The thing is, like LeBro is like she's underneath like some of the other backups, right? She's underneath Zonde there, so you might not notice her. She's a little sneaky gal.
Oh, she's just played by a sneaky guy
Yeah.
who likes to conveniently tuck the little boy in the middle. You know, it's
I don't think that's what's going on. Just the one that's on top was just the one that was most recently played.
So what is the play here?
I mean, to be fair to Cory, there isn't really that much incentive to attack with the cloud here anyway.
If anything, he's probably gonna play. He's probably gonna play Clive Prime and Go. I assume that's in his hand. Yeah, they haven't played one in a very very long time, so I can only imagine that's the plan. Hey,
Looks like it.
Who would have thunk?
It's kind of funny seeing all these fire forwards that are removing cards from the opponent's break zone from the game.
Yeah,
that didn't used to be a thing that Fire did very often, but
Fire was struggling. But then, like now, I was like, oh, they gave us a cloud. Let's play. Oh, did they give us a Clive? Let's play. You know, it's
yeah. Oh, yep. Your break zone is not the safe place it used to be against fire decks like it was in the past.
There used to be just the demon. Now you have the demon and the cloud and the Clive. You know, and
Yeah.
if you have the option, you do it because not only you removing things, you're also drawing. You know, drawing's good in this game.
Yeah. I'm a big fan of drawing. Yeah, we got
Yeah.
Clive. He's like mini Cloud. So I believe we're already 2 Ifrits down on Cory's side. I think it's hard for me to pay attention to all the discarding we've been doing.
Yeah, the discard is hard to see, but yeah.
So if we prime here, I think that would be our last boy, our last big boy.
Pitching two backups, yeah.
Yeah, looks like we're going into Ifrit. This I'm not gonna lie, I'm not sure if I'm a big fan of this. It does put some pressure on Sidney, but getting only 1 kill for your Ifrit is kind of low value. And when he's a 10k, right? Like a single 1 mana Ifrit just kills him. Right? Like you
damage does matter though.
Yeah. Oh well, there's that 1 mana Ifrit I was talking about. But also
that's 2 big hits.
Yeah, depending on what's in Cory's hand, you might just get Ifrited back on the counter swing. And remember, even if there's an Ifrit in his hand, right? Sidney's Ifrit lives the special. So he would need to special twice. or you need to do like an Amat plus the Ifrit, that's like not great at all, right? So Sidney really has the ability to just take this board back and just swing it in the opposite direction right here. And is that what's going on? Looks like it.
Yeah.
The question is, does Cory remember LeBro? If he tries to special here, we're gonna be really sad. Does he
Yep.
special? Does he special?
Don't do it. Don't do it, boy. Don't do it.
Don't. He's thinking about it.
Cory, don't do it.
Cory,
Cory.
please. So you always target Ifrit first, right?
Yes.
And Sidney's got a thick grip of cards in hand. So he's about to take control of this board while also having the card advantage, it looks like.
And still have
But
enough amateurs to his Mount Leonis in the back on the
yeah,
back.
yeah, this is looking pretty good for Sidney. Like he took a bit of a beating early on, damage wise, but this is very much a marathon. Okay, he did. Okay, that was a little stressful there. We're taking the damage, right? Yeah, okay. It's on there. 5 cards in Sidney's hand. That's probably just a pile of removal.
So what
It's
do we
funny.
draw?
Yeah, the glare on Cory's sleeves are a bit much. I can't really see what's going on in there. But it's kind of funny though, because the early Opus Anthem backups like LeBro and what's her name?
Lulu.
Lulu. Yeah,
And a
exactly.
cross.
And Across for Earth. The Duke for Ice. They
Waka.
used to see a bunch of play back in the day,
Yeah,
right?
when they bought some mono decks because mono water was a good deck, mono lightning was a really good deck, and then mono ice was broken. So yeah, back in the
But
days.
yeah, but like over time, they've lost a lot of their luster, you could say, and usually rarely see play. But like in this mono fire mirror, it's like the, the power buff is just so noticeable.
It's fat. Oh, he's blocking with a 10K. And he's going to destroy it.
Yeah.
Make it forward, lose all abilities, and break it. This is Zeta Flare.
This is the 4th time Sidney has seen one of his opponents top deck double. I mean Bahamut plus Bahamut. Like he's seen 4 Bahamuts drawn before Dion's. What has been going on?
It's tragic.
Yeah.
Or maybe
So
maybe Senior's just the main character. You know, it's what it is.
maybe he is. But that was a very favorable trade for Sidney, right? Like Cory and Sidney both played a Cloud and an Ifrit, except Sidney's Ifrit also took a Bahamut on it with it on his way out.
It really does feel like Sydney is quite a bit ahead here.
Yeah. I think he's also ahead in deck out. They both have the red sleeves. I just noticed.
Oh, they're matching.
But to be fair, there's still a lot of game left to be played here. These decks do not draw through their decks like that quickly,
Hmm.
and they're all just there's just so much removal that nothing ever sticks. Just everything dies and then dies and then dies. Unless
Things.
someone just like top decks only backups for like a couple of turns in a row, I would expect to just see every turn just the board swinging back and forth.
Hmm. Wait, how they use LBs this game?
I don't think any LB has been used this game.
Bro, these guys.
I,
I just... Hey, Steven, can you get a check on them real quick? See if they have used any LBs? Because I don't think they have, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Right, we haven't seen any Zacks, and I don't see why they would have used anything else. Here's another cloud. What's the cloud count at? Reaching a Clive.
Okay,
So it's
does
like
he's not.
we're we're about to have half of Sydney's deck removed from the game. I think this is the
One by one,
third.
by the way. It's not like you mastered move. You just went through it. You've just been pinging him. That's crazy.
I think this is the 7th card removed. Oh man.
This is crazy. This is game full, and they haven't used LBs yet, bro. This is crazy.
Well, no. Sidney cast Toto LB in game 1, right?
Oh
Or was
yeah,
that
he
game 2?
did. Oh, he
Sidney did
did.
cast Toto LB 1 game. I think other than that, we haven't touched the LB deck. Looks like Sidney has decided that he wants Big Zonde.
Yeah, yeah. He did catch LB total. Go check
So yeah.
on him.
Zonde is a little bit scary for both players. On one hand, he is a nice recurring source of removal that can just blast this cloud off the board. On the other hand, it draws you cards every turn, which is risky when you're often going to be just seeing everything die and go to deck out. But he does kill the cloud, which is extremely relevant because there's only so many pieces of removal in these decks that actually do deal the 9k. We've seen a bunch of the Ifrits get spent. We haven't really seen many of the 1-cost Ifrits. Sidney could also just play eject, of course, because he has the Libero. His eject would win combat and wouldn't trade with the cloud. But it looks like we're probably just going to see the Zonde that he searched last turn come down and just blast the cloud off the board.
Yeah, full 9K.
Yeah, I imagine the Zonde's coming down here. He's thinking about it, though. Something else to note is that Zonde is normally extremely vulnerable to Amat. However, there is a cute little Libero on the board I keep bringing up because it just keeps mattering. Okay. Looks like... Are we just going to use Zach to kill Cloud instead?
Then
Also, something else to remember with Libero, if Jim blocks Cloud, Cloud dies. Because he's an 8k first striker that deals 1k bonus damage.
yeah,
We're pitching Amat.
interesting. I will only imagine he has another one in his hand.
Yeah. That's the second Amat we've seen discarded. And we've still seen 0 cast. Okay, so Zach's doing 4,000 damage, and Cloud bites the dust. Yeah. So yeah, all of Sidney's removal is now trading up into Cory's cards even more so than before, with the Jin also hitting the board. Jin is also just low key an extremely good blocker, not even just for the Cloud, even without the Libero, just in general. A forward that more or less blocks for AK first strike, while also being immune to sorcery speed, destruction is just really good against a lot of decks.
Absolutely, and the fact that it is a monster is just so hard to deal with again.
Yeah,
Not be able to kill on your main phase.
yeah. I think that was Cory's last Cloud. We have been counting them, so I think that's why Sidney finally felt safe to commit him to the board. Resource-wise, I think Cory's starting to get a bit low. He's, I think, blown through all his Ifrits. I think he's blown through all of his clouds. But here we go. Here's the
He's
Montleonis.
he's demanding Amaterasu 3 out of the 5 cards in his hand.
He's like, please discard 3 cards, Sidney. The thing is, if Sidney Amat's here, I believe Cory has the resources to just Montleonis again. Oh no, never mind.
He lives, though.
He lives. He lives. He's hoisted by his own petard. He's just too big.
He is unfortunately too big, but but the backup sacrificing is part of the effect, so he does keep his 5th backup here.
Correct. Sidney's like, I would really rather not have you have those guys on the field. So at this point, you just gotta. This is where things get awkward for Sidney, right? Because you are behind on the damage race, but also you don't want to kill this Montleonis. Like we mentioned with Axstar previously, killing this Montleonis is not great for Sidney. You do not want to allow him to re-trigger that enter the battlefield effect, unless you have something like a Terra to maybe get back the Mont. But actually, Sidney's like, actually, I don't mind killing the Mont. Yeah, you can do it again next turn.
I'll kill for free. Oh, he does kill for 10k, and then they'll fight for 0. There you go. Not bad. Do it again. Got another one.
Oh, this is really fun. I can't believe we're fighting over this like that. Okay, so fights for 11k there.
Yeah, I think he's pushed you for damage here.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he wants to do this. Oh, the last one.
No, there was one more Ifrit. Okay, apparently I can't count, or maybe I just didn't see him discard one earlier.
I thought I seen him discard too. Okay, maybe I'm wrong. I thought it was the last one.
It's when all the cards are red, they all look the same, you know.
Yeah,
so Sidney has 2 cards in hand. I really hope for his sake that one of those is an Amat, because surely another Montleonis is coming down here, right?
Surely. No.
I see we have the Joshua in Cory's hand, so maybe he's thinking he could go Dion into Joshua into Prime. But the danger of doing that is that Joshua has an enter the battlefield trigger, so you can kill the Joshua before he has an ability to Prime.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think, is there a 3rd Bahamut in this deck?
No, there should be 2.
I think there's just 2, right?
No.
Yeah, there's just 2. There's 3 Dion, 2 Bahamut. What an awful ordering.
It's tragic.
Both of these games where Sidney played against Dion Bahamut, that was the ratio. He's just that good.
He is him.
Yeah, so normally here, right, you want to commit the Josh first, because then your opponent needs to decide whether or not they want to kill the Joshua before you commit the Dion. You don't want to show your opponent the Dion to let them know that you're about to, draw the card.
Except he put it on the table, so
I know. It's a secret weapon. It's a secret. Don't tell anyone, right? Because Dion doesn't create a stack when he enters, right? So you can just play the Dion and then immediately Prime, which is what I expect we're going to do here. Yep, unless is there 2 late cards in hand?
No, I don't think it is. He's gonna do it.
He's got Dion, Amat. Okay, he's not even priming. Is there? Okay. I don't think we're out of Phoenixes, but I can't count. I've been talking for so long.
He went through 1 Phoenix. I don't know if he's discarded another one, so it's hard for us to see. Like the pitch, what the pitch every turn. Swing for 8. Damage.
Yeah. Would you poke with the Jin here, or would you just want to hold it back as a blocker?
I mean, he's also a damage 3, to be fair, right? It's not like
it's scary.
He doesn't care. He doesn't want to see that, honestly.
Cory does not want to see that, yeah.
He doesn't want to see that.
So, Cory's a damage 5. Cory's now, I believe, falling behind him both deck out and in damage.
Full.
Looks like here's second Montleonis.
Leo Diamond.
Yeah, who could have foreseen this?
That's his last one, though, right?
That is the last one. But if there's any Terras in Sidney's deck, he can get them back.
Yeah.
Notably, due to the way that Terra interacts with Amat, even if you Amat her enter trigger, that just kills her, which puts her in the break zone.
And
To
it
still
won't be
grab it back. You get it either way.
Yup.
Okay. Looks like Cory is offering to go into the damage trade.
I can only assume he has an Ifrit one in his hand for him to feel comfortable swinging.
There has to be. Otherwise, like any number of cards in Sidney's hand is just game, right? Like a Jack, an Ifrit 1, anything that does like basically any amount of damage. Okay, well there's Zonde. Looks like he's gonna declare job dominant. Well, we shall see. Do we have the Ifrit one? We have Amat.
Huh.
Well, LeBro is right there. And looks like we're going for game anyway.
And that's it.
And Sidney got there. Back to 2-2. What a grind.
Yeah, this is gonna be a match.
Yeah. It didn't look like there was that much gas left in Sidney's deck either. That looked like a whole bunch of backups. So it's probably good that he won. That he won when
I mean,
he
that's
did.
what happens when there's two players with nothing but removals. You know,
Yeah.
it's removed, and there's nothing to attack with. You know, it's
Yeah. They were just slamming haymaker after haymaker onto the board, just so much gas. So it does make sense that they had to run out of gas eventually. Sidney just eked across the finish line there. Oof. So going into game 5, Mono Wind versus Mono Earth. This is a very interesting matchup.
Are you familiar with the matchup, good sir?
I have never personally played it, but I have heard from people who have and that whose opinions I trust. And from what I understand, it's is Mono Wind favored, but not by an incredible degree. It's relatively even with like a slight Mono Wind favoring, because Mono Earth is a deck that it's kind of like a mid-range deck, right? It has the capacity to combo off in the late game, but for the most part, it's just like you're playing efficient, good cards that just happen to have removal stapled to them, like Emmett Selk. So, and then you eventually go like Leo Wall Titus. Mono Wind, however, is a deck that wants to ramp out and then basically combo off. And Mono Earth just has very little not sorcery speed, instant speed interaction. There's very few ways for Mono Earth to actually stop Mono Wind from doing its primary game plan, right? They have Mist Dragon, right? So they can maybe cancel a Chocobo, bounce back to hand, or they can stop Lulu from grabbing something key back from the break zone. But they can't really stop Nash from breaking Tyro, right? They can't stop Nash from breaking any of their 6-mana backups that they have to search off of Emmett Selk, right? So it's awkward to say the least from the Mono Earth side, right? And you don't really have any way to like aggressively push for the board because like your key plays are like Leo Wall, right? They require you to ramp out backups. You need to get your resources online, and so you can't just like slam 5 forwards turn 1 and start hitting your opponent.
Yep, it's not that kind of deck. So in this matchup, there's actually not a lot of things that's very favored against Mono Earth in the meta, other than Nice. Nice is annoying. Not Nice. The last one was annoying. However, Mono Wind is one of those decks that doesn't really care too much. It out carries the Mono Earth a lot of the times. It is actually pretty close to a 60-40 for the Mono Wind in this matchup. There's not a lot of things Earth can do. However, if there's any given point you do Mono Wind things and then you don't have a Fina in play, and the guy goes LB Chantura from the LB Shanto and then you lose everything, that's when it gets rough. So it really is a matter of both storming out while also collecting Finas in your hand. So that's what it's gonna hinge on. I
Yeah.
imagine you players will mostly understand this concept, but I've never like I haven't seen them playing this matchup too much. I know that Sidney said that he's practiced this quite a bit, but he's not like super like crazy. He's not crazy at it yet, is what he said. So
Yeah. Yeah. I think as I mentioned earlier, when we saw Mono Wind play, I don't remember which matchup it was, but one of the ways that Mono Wind can lose some of the grindier matchups is just getting Totoed. Specifically, Toto backup more than Toto forward because, Fina exists. But like that deck can only build so many boards, and it draws through its whole deck extremely quickly, right? So, despite the fact that you have Zidane ripping cards from your opponent's deck, you're still usually going to deck yourself first. And there is a danger that you run out of resources before winning the game. It's not usually an issue, but it can come up. It's similar to monster decks in that regard.
yeah, but then also additionally in this matchup, so both these guys are like, they play the decks decently well, but Sidney was struggling a little bit on the mono win, and then Cory was asking, he was wanting some practice against mono wind because he's not very familiar with wind itself, and he feels like he doesn't know how to stop it, so he will ask for some practice games and stuff. So I borrowed Sidney's deck, that the one that he's playing with. I borrowed that deck and I showed him against his mono earth, and I Zidane him pretty early, and then on the Zidane flip, I got a wall fall, and I was like, that's, I was like,
It's
this is not going to be okay. This is not gonna be fun for you. So of course, next I literally stormed off with playing spells, and then I played the wall fall. I untapped everything. I drew, and then it was pretty nasty. On top of doing damage to him, when I did damage to him, I hit Riku, and then two damage to him, I hit Leo, and he was just like, dude, I just can't do anything. This is crazy, dude. So there's times when Zidane steals very important things like Mist Dragon or Amaterasu, all very important in this deck. It's going to be like wall 4. If you lose the wall, it becomes very difficult very quickly.
Speaking of difficult, Cory ramped to 4 backups on, on turn 2. That's not what you want to see if you're Sidney.
What you want to see?
Also, he drew the Chocolate, so he had to discard Fat Chocobo for Chocolate, which is also which you do not want to see as the mono win gamer. Really unfortunate.
That is the worst
Um,
case scenario.
he does have Every on board, so it's kind of like he has 3 backups down, but that's not how you want to have it happen.
That is
Um,
not how you want to see it. And what hap- what Cory does next turn is going to determine the winner of this game. Honestly, if the
uh,
man goes Leo Wall, I'm like, well, that's like, I don't know if you can come back from a Titus there. It's like it's
yeah. Is that a cast 1 Luso?
there's no way.
Oh no, no! What is going on here,
He's,
Sidney?
is my man Sidney doing complicated math with two backups again? This is what we doing.
And we're passing?
And we're passing. Oh my god.
Surely we play like a Zidane LB or something,
And then
right?
LB said hi when even LB Luso is amazing. You guarantee a play next turn. It's fantastic. I don't know,
Uh,
man.
he might just be saying, "I don't want to blow my LB here. I'm about to lose anyway." And it
Yeah.
looks like that could very well be the case. Yep,
Oh my
Riku,
god.
Wall. We have the Ingus in hand
Trigger
too.
Wall, Trigger Riku.
Riku's gonna grab back what? Une? What are we gonna
He
grab
can
back?
whatever he wants. It's like I guess Unifil next turn. I guess it's
You could also just Une bounce the Chocolate.
yeah. That's
Uh, that's um
yeah. Yep. Yeah.
yeah.
Free stuff is
Yep.
free.
Yep.
Well,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
what do you do? Not Fino when you have only two backups and not four? Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, this is not gonna be pretty. Trigger untap.
Yep. Cory had more backups on turn 2 than Sidney's gonna have all game.
Yep, and he's going to be dead very soon.
Yeah. Are we just playing the Genova?
We're not playing Genova. There's no way we're playing Genova.
I mean the backups are still tapped, so I'm.
I think he might have just struck and said, I'm gonna tap it for 5 for this. And do pink.
Okay,
No.
okay, no, so no, we're still just resolving the effects. Okay.
Okay, we'll resolve on. Okay, let's have
It's
draw.
double draw. Yeah, because there's no reason to play Genova, right? We just attack with wall. We just ping off
So
the
he
Luso.
played Riku in a wall and play, and then he has 5 cards in hand. It's cool. You know, that's not a problem. It's not no issues.
It's fine. It's fine. Yeah.
Unbalanced.
So yeah, here's Angus.
Why not? Cost 1 mana. Sure. You know, it's
Sure. Yeah.
It replaces itself.
Yeah, let's grab anything we want out of our deck. That sounds good to me. Notably, we can still play Tidus like on curve just by tapping the 4 backups and discarding 2 cards.
He can. He sure can. He's got the Sun on, so on his opponent's turn, he can Sun on and draw a card off of Riku because she says once a turn, but you can do on your opponent's turn if you have something with back attack that is a multi-element and nerf. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. It also protects Riku if Sidney is trying to use like a Dryad in response to Killer in response to a Tidus.
Sure is.
He's got the Dryad, so that's probably what he was thinking.
He's putting more things on the board. Okay, so he has 5, 6, 7, 8. This costs 3.
3. Yep. So we're gonna pay 3 for the Montleonis.
What's something that
We're
costs
grab back
6 or less?
Une.
That's
That's why we kept the Une in the break.
Goodbye, Chocolate. It was good knowing you. Just the Chocolate, please.
Yeah, there's no way he bounced the Lusa, right? Yeah, because we're gonna kill that with wall.
He's just gonna kill it with wall, yeah.
We're putting a counter on her.
Sponsor. I have a counter, bros.
Okay, I'm assuming we're in combat and we're shooting Lusa in response to an attack. This Dryad will deal 6,000 now, which is not particularly helpful. Okay, we're chocoing him back to hand.
He could sit on response and kill it. I don't think it's worth it, but it will break the draw and the Luso, which is cool. Oh, he's just gonna do that. That is fine too, I guess.
Titan, yeah.
So no draws off the choco because it has not resolved.
Yep.
Yes.
So
one player has 10 characters in play, the other one has 2. Who are you betting on, TK?
Difficult. Now, if Sidney can get to a Luso 7 this turn, somehow, he's still in a rough spot, but...
he's gonna do 18 to 19 bodies, bro.
I don't know. I can't tell how many cards he has in hand, but I know it's not great considering he also basically discarded 2 for that.
Think about the fact that if he managed to do a 7-cast Luso, he's the only thing that he's actually killing is Montleonis and the Riku that's gonna get a plus 5k from the Sonar from his hand, and not kill anything.
So we got cast 1 Rosa. That's as good as a start as any. Cast 2 Desert.
Okay, you got it.
Cast 3. Hopefully it's another backup. Hopefully it's another backup so we can get a little bit more for Rosa. If we could do a cast 3 backup into like cast 4 Alexander, into cast 4 Alexander draw 2, into cast 4 Alexander draw 2.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's okay. So untap 2. We got to cast 4 Alex, please.
Yes,
please, I'm begging. Please, we need double Alex in hand.
Citra's also really good here. Cast 4 Citra is really good because then you get to cast 5 here.
Yeah, cast 4 Citra for Alex also, yeah. Chocolate?
Wait,
why didn't we do that? Why didn't we do that in the other order? I guess.
Okay, I mean that's fine.
But ending at cast 4 is really unfortunate.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4 guys can attack, so that'll put him at 5. Also, for him to protect the Rosa from the ability damage, he would have to pitch the last gun in his hand.
Well, he has a Genova Synthesis in Cory's hand, so Rosa's dead.
Rosa's dead.
Right? Remember we saw him add that back off of the Riku last turn?
Yeah, and he hasn't pitched it yet.
Yeah. So there's not really anything he can do here to make that Rosa live. I think the last card in his hand was Dryad, but he might have pitched it for the Rosa this last turn. I didn't quite see what he discarded for that. Unless, did he discard the Genova again? There's one in his break zone.
I think he did, so we're not sure what's in his hand.
Okay, well, we're just going to cast Stone on just to get back the Genova.
Yeah. Have your backups. Oh, you have a backup. That's fine, yeah. I respect that.
Is that a Balo?
And then trigger Riku. What are you choosing?
Yeah, he wants the Genova.
Sidney is not in a good position.
No, I don't think he is. So he basically casts Sonon as like very expensive Kusif.
Yes. To be fair, he could have tapped more backups, right? But
okay. So I imagine what we're going to do here is we're going to try to ping the Rosa, and we're going to see if he discards the card. Because if he doesn't discard the card,
it's dead.
He's dead. And if he does discard the card, you can just finish it off with the Genova.
Offer to trade. Please ping. Make him discard.
Why not ping first? Am I okay?
Yes, you're correct.
Okay. I mean,
if you're wondering, if you wanted some kind of crazy thing, that you're correct.
Okay, I'm just like, why are we not doing that? It's fine. It's fine. I don't think there's anything Sidney can do here to stabilize with 3 cards. I don't think we're getting to cast 7. Even if we do get to cast 7, like a lot of this lives anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, everything lives that's not everything not named Riku or Malionos lives. Even if he gets like.
Oh, yeah, he did sell the Dryad. Okay, so
cast 1.
Well, Cory is empty-handed, so normally you could use Mist Dragon to empty the break zone here in response to stop the Citra.
Yeah,
but that is not a line possible for him. So the Citra will resolve. Normally you'd like to save Citra as like cast 3 though, so that way you can like get an Alexander to draw 2 cards. That's not happening here.
That is not a luxury that Sidney has right now. Let's see what he tries to survive with.
Yeah, you could do Chocobo, grab her back, and then redo it for cast 3. Which looks like that's what he's going for.
It's a lot of mana spent. It's a lot of CP spent though.
Yeah, well, you're basically just spending 3 mana to get 2 casts.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't cost you any cards.
So you're going to cast it, target this. You go to minus 2k something.
Okay. He's going for it. Warrior of Light now dies to Lucina, right? Or is Lucio 7k?
Lucio is 8k, I believe.
It is 8k? I thought it was 8.
It is 8k.
It's 8k. Okay, good. Just making sure. I usually don't like to let the Storm players get to the point where I have to actually think about how much it does. So now he could do Citra again, hit Alexander, draw 2, and see where that gets him. Assuming there's another Alexander in his deck. I'm assuming he also has enough win cards in his breakdown for Citra, but we've seen a lot of stuff die.
Yes.
Well, there's Chaos Walker the wheel. You don't really want to discard that, because that means with that card you could do, LB Luso, and then remove it, and then search regular Luso. So if possible, you'd probably want to discard your other card, but it depends what it is.
I don't think that's on his mind right now, to be honest. I'm sure he's kind of hyper-focused on not dying next turn.
Yeah, well, it also looks like he's got 2 Alexanders already in his break zone and or removed from game. And he's on 3 copies, so it looks like there should be 1 left in the deck, unless there's another one in his break zone I can't see.
Yeah.
So what are we getting? We are getting rid of the Chaos Walker.
Full.
Getting rid of another bunch of win cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. What's number 5? Bunch of chocobos gone.
The free Alexa is kind of nice to have in your deck, though. I mean, your break zone, though.
Yeah.
So this is going to be cast fall.
Yeah.
Draw
So we will
two.
get to draw 2. Hopefully not into another copy of Citra. After drawing Chocolate turn 2, I'm sure he's gonna feel like it's not his game, and he's gonna end up with that light card in his hand. So can we get to 7, and can we find Luso?
Guess 5. Sure.
Zero, untap 3. So we're spending. That's a net neutral play, right?
Very, very nice. No, it's a very nice thing when you don't have that many backups.
Yeah, yeah.
It's 6.
6. Do we have a Luso in the break zone?
7, yeah, 7 and 8. There you go.
Okay. That board is gone.
Yeah.
I think that's everything gone.
Correct.
Now, Cory can just Total LB.
He's gonna ping the Luso off. Okay, fair enough. Although he should have pinged the Luna, but it's okay too. He's mad at the Luso itself.
Yeah.
He lives.
Yeah. So Sidney used every single card in his hand there. He was exactly able to do it. If Cory had just saved the 5-cost forward, he could have just done it so much cleaner.
Yeah. Also, you going to LB Tour now?
I mean, it depends what he draws, right? If he just has access to another Genova,
something that kills, yes.
yeah. Right? Yeah, he might just do Genova.
Yeah.
Kusith for Genova, and then just slam Genova again. Oh, Ingus. Okay. What are we grabbing off of this?
Does he want Riku or something? Is that what he's doing?
I am shocked he didn't just grab Genova.
Yeah.
And just wiped it and wiped, right?
Maybe he feels like Genova doesn't do enough pressure. But
I mean, to be fair, okay, so we're playing the Emmet, but there's nothing we can cast right now, right?
Yeah,
our hand's empty.
I think he's just playing for the next round.
I mean, to be fair, none of the forwards on this board do anything, right? They just shrink when you cast summons, right? None of these are like. It's not like there's a Rosa on the field, right? There's no actual like pressure to actually kill these guys. It's not like it's Zidane or something like that.
They don't generate a lot. They don't generate threats, yes. So of value, but yeah.
But if he is able to cast just a couple summons, this Emmet will die.
Yeah.
And he did put more threats on board than just casting, the 1/5 cost. So we're gonna draw a card off of Chocolate. That costs us our Evray though. It's very interesting. There's no way Sidney's attacking. Right, because Cory has zero incentive to block. So, doing kites, we get a real top 3. Grab a wind card, I believe.
Hey, Fina's a really good card when you have 4.
Yeah, Fina's a really good grab here. Sadly, she's not a cat 12, so Kites doesn't untap, but that's fine.
He doesn't want his amateurs.
I mean, if you already have Fina in hand, you don't need another copy. But like
Yeah.
as it stands, Cory is threatening to win the game right now, right? He's got the Vincent in hand. It kills Lulu and Citra on entry.
Yeah.
And then he can just swing with the other two and win.
Yeah.
This Alex, no wind forward has entered the field this turn. So Alex is still, you got to be
Expensive.
playing market value for that, which isn't great. Did
It's
Sidney
expensive.
forget?
I
He can't
think.
cast that.
he's like, that's not a fold, bro. That is not a fold.
Sidney.
Oh no, Sidney, you done goofed. He can't catch it. He's like, I
Well,
thought I
he can Zidane LB or Sid Highwind and then
Yeah.
cast it. He can do that.
He has to pitch the other card in his hand. I think he wants to keep it though. It might have been a Fina.
Well, he might not have a choice at this point.
Yeah.
Azura, add back what?
Oh,
To untap everything. At that point, just grab back Luso.
Yeah, just grab Luso, cast Luso, and then you get a draw, and then you get the free cast.
Yeah.
Don't,
Okay,
don't
well, he's going to do... Okay, he's going to use Zidane LB instead. He'd rather not have the card name Luso on board, right?
Yeah.
And both of these draw card. Like, there's no shot that this whiffs against Mono Earth.
Correct.
Did it hit Une?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Okay. Yeah. Zidane also survives against Vincent when what's it called? Doesn't. Although it doesn't actually survive against Vincent because Emmett will just kill him. Right. So
Yeah.
I believe Emmett should be going down to 1K here because he's getting shrunk down by 5K, down to 5K by Lulu, and then there should be 2 Citra triggers. So he should live with exact health.
If the wind blows a little too hard, the Metsuk will die. Aggro. Okay, you just take it.
Well, I mean, Lulu's dead anyway. Well, that was a good hit. That was a good hit too.
Impressive.
So yeah, we just play Vincent here. Everything goes splat. And then you just get in there, bonk with Emmett.
And
Oh, he had a... Oh, wait. Oh, he drew Fina off of the Zidane. That was the random card off the top of his deck.
Main character energy.
What the heck? How?
Main character energy, bro. This guy.
Oh my god. Sidney should not be in this game. The only reason he had the cards in hand was because Cory, the previous turn, was because Cory didn't do the wall ping. Like to rip the last card out.
Yup.
And then that happens too. Oh my god. If Sidney wins this game, I'm gonna be so upset.
Main character energy.
Okay. Yeah, so you can crack kites, I believe, to activate 2 characters. Okay. He's doing that. The awkward thing, though, is that if Vincent is targeted by a forward, he does have a revenge trigger. Well, he will blast them for an absurd amount of damage.
I think
So
it's like
these, I believe it's 9K. So this Citra and this Lulu, they can target Emmett to their heart's content, and I believe Lulu is optional. So Lulu doesn't have to target, but I think Citra is mandatory. So if Vincent's ever the lone forward on this board, Citra, her time on this earth may become short. Okay. It looks like we're just passing back. I believe Sidney's at damage 6. Right? Because I believe Emmett got in for damage the previous turn. As it currently stands, Cory can just play a Noctis, grab back something, trigger Emmett. You definitely want to focus on Citra first.
Yeah.
Because Citra's effect works on both players' turns, whereas Lulu is only on your own turn.
Yep.
And then you just attack with both. And hopefully you can get in there for a game. This has been very stressful. I feel like needlessly stressful.
Yeah. Cory could have closed it. He didn't have to play the way he did. He could have
Yeah.
closed it much easier. But also that Fina draw, I'm not gonna lie to you.
That was absurd. That was definitely absurd.
That Fina draw.
Oh my.
What is in Cory's hand? I do wonder. If he's digging into his LB, that means it's nothing too relevant right now. That cannot blast. I imagine there's
Yeah.
no
No.
Genova.
Okay, so he's
Uh,
got Riku. Riku's really
oh,
nice because he's probably got a ton of different,
he,
multi-element LBs in here that you can play. Like if there's a Tomberry and Cactuar, it looks like we do not have Tomberry and Cactuar in our list.
he has Rebel. He has Rebel. For 7, but he'd be missing 1 CP.
Yeah. Well, Tomberry would have been great here, right? Because it would have been
Yeah,
a multi-element to trigger Riku, whereas Cloud isn't.
very much so. Rubel is a fire, a
Yeah,
fire.
Fire Earth. Yeah, yeah, the 7-cost one. Yeah.
But very importantly, he also he triggers the MF because he's 7-drop, and also he breaks it back up. So it's a lot of good things in the Roback Bell.
Well, I think in this case you'd rather break the Lulu, right? Normally you'd want to hit the backup, but it's Robot Hood's any character, and we're trying to go for game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it looks like we were able to Dryad to kill the Robel after blocking Emmett with Lulu.
Yeah.
And so that should deal 10k to
Okay.
Vincent.
Right.
Yeah, so Vincent should
He's
die. Robel will live because Lulu is only on your own turn. And then he just passes there. And then every turn, Sidney's fighting for his life.
again. He should be dead.
He should be dead.
He should be dead.
Yeah, so I'm a little shocked we went for the Cloud there over a Noctis, right? They both cost
The same.
the same amount, right? And they both cost both LB wise and card wise. But also, if we went for the Noctis, we could have held Riku in hand for next turn, and we could have done Noctis grab back Wall, right? And they both would have killed the Citra. And then next turn
Yeah.
we could have done Riku Wall. And then now
Yeah.
that's not an option we have.
Mm-hmm.
That's the because we're not gonna have enough. We do have enough. We'd pitch our whole hand here, but that is under the assumption that Riku lives. We're Citraing again. In response to the Citra trigger, we're using the Mifui, to draw. Because you can only do that if you have 15 or more win cards in your break zone, and he was going
Yeah.
to go under 15 afterwards.
Yeah. Well done.
Which also explains why he didn't use Dryad to draw on the previous turn. It's also, even if Sidney stabilizes here, how many cards are left in his deck?
Not enough to kill Cory.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to do enough damage to win.
Cory can play Genoa Synthesis, and then things just die.
Yeah. Sidney's like been struggling for air every single turn, and then Cory's just like playing one card and passing every turn. It's kind of funny watching the difference of how much effort Sidney's putting into this, and Cory's just sitting there watching it all happen. Okay, we are remembering our Citra triggers. So we're grabbing Zidane. Sidney's realized that there's no more gas left in his deck, so he's going to try to use Cory's deck instead. This is cast 3.
What is that? I can't see it.
I can't. Was that Toto?
Is that a 7?
I think that's Toto.
That's
It's
a
hard to tell.
total.
It's
If you manage to resolve that,
I
It
well, he
that's a
has
win
2
back.
cards in hand. I don't think that's happening.
Hey, look, that total's a win back of man. I'm just saying.
So what are we doing here? So we can attack with Zidane, but anything can just block Zidane and he dies. Cloud's currently at 6k, so if there's another summon in his hand, he could potentially use Citra to shrink Cloud below, but he can just block with Riku, and then there'd need to be 2 summons, which is just unlikely. Okay, well there's 1 summon,
Alexander?
but nothing is even castable here. There's no oh wait,
Ever
we
though.
could Alexander kill our own Evre, or have we? Wait, have we ever yet this turn? I don't know.
He hasn't ever yet this turn.
Okay, so we're gonna. You don't block this. You don't block this, right?
Don't
Because
block
anything that blocks will die. Right, assuming that Evre has not been used yet, right?
Yeah, I don't think it has been used, so I imagine you don't just block it.
Right,
All
because
of it.
anything that you block with, you can target with Lulu and or Citra to shrink below the threshold.
And he draws it.
Yeah, so Cloud will perish. Sidney will draw 2 cards. And Riku will become a 5k.
That should be the end of the turn.
Well, I mean, it depends what Sidney draws off that, right? So that was cast. Let's see, Citra, 1, 2, 3, 4. That was cast 5. I don't think there's any way left for him to do anything else.
Yeah.
Relevant. He flipped a Neo Eggs Death. Oh my god, I just realized that. Toto Ned. 2 cards that Ned in particular won the game on the spot.
Yeah.
But what we can do here is just Noctis Wall win. Do we just want to Noctis Wall? It's a bit expensive. We could also just Robel.
Robel kill 2 things.
Yeah,
Because of the med suck.
Yeah. Okay, we're just doing the Robel instead. It's possibly one of the Robel is less flexible than Noctis, right? So saving Noctis for later could be more useful.
Yeah.
Yeah, play Robel, kill 2 blockers, grab back anything you want from your break zone.
Could be a waffle.
Could be a wall for. Probably Genova's probably the best thing. If I'm gonna. Oh no, he's grabbing wall 4 back because he wants to play it right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting both the Riku trigger and the Emmet trigger is just so sick.
Disgusting.
Yeah. Looks like he wants to get another Riku trigger next turn. I don't think there's going to be a next turn.
I don't think it's maybe next turn, but it's no. All right, that's 3-2.
Yes. What a long game. Okay, so this is a tournament point.
Long game. Look, man.
Tournament point for Cory and Sidney. So at this point, they can only play decks that they have lost with, correct?
Yes, that is correct. 3-2. So, when a player reaches 3 points, then they present the deck. So he has 2 decks. He has to present one of them, and then Sidney will get to counter pick one of his 3 decks. And if he wins that, then he has 3 points. Then he'll choose one of his 2, and then Cory will pick one of his last 2.
The awkward thing for Sidney here is, if I'm remembering correctly, Sidney lost with Chark, right? And Cory only has mono decks remaining.
Yeah. So Chuck's not gonna be an option here, essentially.
Yeah, so no matter what, Sidney has to win 4 matches, right? 4 games. None of those are probably going to be with Chark. So Sidney is rather inflexible in what his options are. So
Uh-huh.
Cory knows that whatever Sidney doesn't pick this game, if Sidney wins, Sidney will have to pick his other non-Chark deck the following game, most likely.
Yep. Oh, it is Final Fantasy VIII that he'll be stuck with, essentially.
Yeah. Um, Luckily for Sidney, Mono Wind has pretty decent matchups here, except for Mono Ice. So if Cory leads Mono Ice here, I guess you probably just play Cat 8. But the problem is, if Cory doesn't win with Mono Ice here, he can just lead Mono Ice the following round, right?
Yeah.
So you can
Uh,
just slam Mono Ice twice in a row and just eventually either Shark or Mono Wind has to beat through it.
yep. And those are both bad matchups, but I'd much rather take Mono Win into Mono Ice than Kiyosaki to. That's a tragic. That is a heavily tragic
Yeah.
matchup. You can literally just turn on Refuse and just win because you win.
Can you imagine? First, I just want to point out though. Can you just imagine how that last game would have went if Sidney didn't have just the most pathetic opening known to man? He still almost stabilized and got
Yeah,
there.
almost stabilized. Yep. That was pretty bad.
One moment, I'm just taking a quick snack break. It's been a long time talking here.
Yeah, absolutely. While they're doing this, I'm gonna grab a drink too, as a matter of fact. So I'll be back in a minute. All right. So the matchup is exactly what we guessed, which is gonna be Model Eyes versus Final Fantasy VIII.
Something to note was that Sidney eventually is, if he doesn't win, if he loses this game, it doesn't matter. But if he wins this game, right, Cory gets to choose to go first. And in that case, what you have to consider from Sydney's side isn't which matchup is better into Mono Ice, right? Because both these decks are likely going to need to run through it. Is which one would you rather go first into Mono Ice? And I think there's definitely an argument that maybe you lead with the Mono Wind here, even though it definitely doesn't want to play against Mono Ice, but just because you definitely don't want to be going second in that matchup,
So,
I
so
feel.
if Sidney wins here, Koi gets to go first, right? So Sidney will pick one of his deck. It's probably gonna be Mono Wind.
Yeah.
And then Corey gets to go Mono Ice and going first. if he goes Toman double backup into either Rufus or Simo, it looks like a very tough matchup.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Maybe he should have gone with the mono win first here, right? Because this is the one game you get a guarantee going first. Whereas I think the Cat 8 deck probably doesn't mind going second as much. I mean, obviously, basically every deck in the game wants to go first.
Yeah,
But some decks care about that dynamic more than others.
a lot more, yeah. But honestly, I don't know.
At the end of the day, you have to win with both decks, right?
You do have to win with 2 decks, and Chaos Arc is not really an option,
Yeah.
right? So, I think I have to agree here. So if I was Sidney, he wants to see the 3/3, just to be pretty.
Yeah.
But honestly, otherwise, like, yeah, if you the slightly better chance of winning here would just to go mono win first, and then mono, and then Final Fantasy 8 after this.
Yeah. I think leading with the Cat 8 deck makes it more likely that you go to 3/3, right? But I think the
But
leading
yeah,
with the mono
less
win
likely to
deck
go.
gives you to get all the way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, losing 2-4 it feels rough, man. Yeah, you see that with in 2 deck format a lot of the time. People will just run back with the matchup they think is better and not
Yeah.
necessarily the matchup that's best for winning
Yeah.
the matchup.
They just have to know that they have to win with both decks at the end of this. Yes.
Yeah. Also, there is the mental mental load, right? Like if you lose game 1, sometimes you just want a nice easy game 2 just to like get yourself back in the game.
The momentum is a thing for a lot of players. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing a day after Squall. I'm assuming Sidney is hoping to hit like a 2-cost backup or something so that he can play it and then draw off of his Adea here. None of those are 2-cost backups. None of those are even really playable right now.
That's not the best.
Yeah. Luckily for Sidney, there just isn't that much removal in the mono ice deck that is capable of killing Adea here, right? So it's pretty likely that she's going to be able to stick around a turn, and potentially get a second draw off if he's able to get the first draw here. Looks like he is. Not necessarily how you wanted to do it, but it does work.
But he's also threatening to kill whatever
Yeah.
Cory plays if it's not a backup, and he just goes through.
Yep. Admittedly, that draw is really important at getting Sidney up to 3 cards in hand to turn Victoria off, right? Because you really don't want Victoria killing your Adea.
All the Cypher.
Yeah. Now I imagine Sidney took the Adea there off of the Squall flip because he needed Lightning CP for Cypher. Otherwise, I think there's not much reason not to take the other Squall, because then you could tag out your Squall into the older Squall, which would then let you play stuff on the following turn.
Yep. So Dolphins is not the backup? Okay, I guess.
Oh, well, interesting. It looks like we don't allow the free play. Notably, this discard here is going to put Sidney down to 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
And Cory has exactly 2 cards in hand. So I have a feeling
he does not
we
blast.
did not Victoria.
He did not
Okay.
blast. Oh, I don't like that.
Interesting.
That is a choice that I might not completely agree with.
Yeah. So Sidney has a selfie in hand. He can play it for 5 because with Sid Kramer. It's not what you want to do, but you can do it. Oh. That's one way to stop the Seymour from attacking. And Adea gets her second draw. I don't think I've ever seen Adea get a second draw off.
Again, this was a choice that she gets a draw.
Well, it's possible. There's like a Snovlinka in Cory's hand, and he couldn't actually, play the Victoria.
Yeah.
But this is looking pretty scary for Cory here. The Cat 8 guys are gonna kill him in like what 2 turns now?
1, 2, 3,
like
4. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of stuff he's got to remove here. Sidney's back up to 3 cards in hand, so Victoria's offline again.
And I imagine he's gonna have 10 cards in his graveyard at the end of this. So yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he certainly has 10 in there. And if he doesn't, he'll have 5 cards in his hand next turn. He'll easily be able to discard to get down to 10.
Okay, pitch 1, and then prime for 2. Kill 2 things.
So we lose the whole hand.
But we survive.
We survive. The question is, which ones do you kill? You definitely get Cypher. It looks like we're going for Cypher Adea.
Probably the Adea, yeah. That saves him.
Yeah. That's pretty good, but there's a lot of things that Sidney could top deck here that are really good for him too.
Yeah,
plus he has 3. He's going to go down to 2 in hand. But
yeah, he's gonna go 2. But if he breaks here, then if he breaks his draws or plays, then it's not gonna be too bad. But honestly, if he jams more value and bodies on both, he can just kill him in 2 turns.
Yeah. Well, also don't forget Sidney has selfie in hand, right? So if he's able to play selfie, he can like do selfie, grab Renoa, play Renoa, grab Cypher, play Cypher, haste Cypher, attack with Cypher, right? Like there's some crazy stuff that Sidney can do next turn, just to flood the board with characters and just to remove probably the Seymour. But maybe you could do you could kill the what's her face as well, the Shiva, just because she's a 9K blocker that you want to get out of the way.
King Shiva, while she's untapped, is guarantees you some damage here, and then having lethal next turn.
Yeah. Sidney's got to think. Okay, he pitched a Renoa. That's interesting. So he should be up to what, 4 cards in hand. There should be a couple lines he can do here. The real question is, does he have the fire for the selfie? Because you'd really not tap the Sid Kramer and pay 5 for her. And he does.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice.
Okay, let's see if he does what I just said. You definitely get back Cypher here, right? Yep. Mill 2, get back 1.
What do you get?
Yeah, Renoa makes sense. You're just going to keep attacking with Renoa every turn, force them to block her. Yeah, but the real question here is, what is Sidney going to kill? Because on one hand, you really want to kill the Seymour, right? He's an absolute menace. On the other hand, you really don't want Shiva blocking Cypher. I think you kill the Shiva.
I would kill the Shiva.
I think you kill the Shiva, because if you don't kill Shiva, Cypher dies. If you do kill Shiva, Cypher dies, but like Seymour had to spend his ability doing it. And at least this way you get the point of damage in.
2 points, because Quistis can swing.
Yeah, Quistis can swing, yeah.
Really? Okay, I guess.
Okay. Well, you still swing with Quistis,
Yeah,
because there's no way he blocks, right?
Yeah, there's no way you block it.
Is he blocking? Come on. There's no way.
No
No shot.
There's no way blocking.
I refuse to believe you're blocking that. Okay. Okay, well, Cory's probably happy he didn't block that, because also he was not interested in drawing that for turn. Sidwoff is not what you want to be seeing when you're hand empty.
He also Sidwoff is mostly a 2-drop genetic backup against a deck that has 6 EX.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, we saw Zell get hit into damage.
I've seen Sidney have hit 2 EXs off of 3 damage on this deck specifically. So
yeah.
So it's like main character energy, dude. That's
Yeah, we've seen quite a few squalls and Zells. So at this point, So just from LB, the only real option we have is Victoria. There's no way we're playing Heretical Knight Garland here.
yeah,
You could technically Kuja, but that's not really doing much.
Yeah, it's not stopping the problem.
Yeah. And obviously Surges exists too. But I think you'd rather just maybe kill the Squall. Because you don't want to give it the opportunity to sack himself to play something.
I would respect that decision.
Is what are we discarding for this? I mean, yeah, this is not a time for backups. The other thing is Selfie is also a decent hit here too, because she's just really annoying, giving haste and the power bump every turn. Right, like this makes a top deck Seymour, for instance, not Seymour, Cypher, significantly worse. Yeah,
it's not gonna be as impactful. Yes.
Yeah.
Sidney's thinking.
Although to be fair, if you did top deck Cypher here, you could play Cypher, grab back Selfie, and then like what, crack the Squall to player, or can he only? So you can still do it. You wouldn't. It's not the best, but it is an option.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, despite all of Sidney's early board pressure here, Cory is still only at damage 2. Right, like all of these forwards have hit the board and died and attacked, and yet still, only 2 damage has been dealt.
The toggle discount on the Jill and priming the Jill saved them.
Yeah.
Kept them in the game, honestly.
Okay.
If he does end up winning this game, it's literally off the back of Jill.
Yeah. Interesting that we led with the Quistis attack there. Are we gonna attack with Renoa as well? Because like we know that Sidney has a Renoa in hand. So he wants the Renoa currently on board to die. To put it mildly.
You would just take it as Cory would just take it.
Wait, what?
What? Okay.
Why didn't we then party?
Then what's your party attack if you gotta do that? Oh my god.
What? I'm so confused.
You and I are confused. I mean, at least burn the Victoria for the LB to kill the big ice lady. Then in that case.
Yeah, I'm legitimately shocked. Well, the thing is, what are we doing?
Surges?
So we're playing Surges.
What are you trying to accomplish here?
I don't think doling a forward here really matters. Because it's not like Cory's suddenly on the offensive and can start killing, like removing stuff and like start beating Sidney's face in. Sidney's at damage 0. Right?
Let's see if he has a following play to this.
Okay, so we're doling Renoa. Okay, we're gonna freeze the Squall. Okay, and draw a card. So he needed to play an ice backup because he just really wanted to cycle the Shiva.
Okay, fair enough.
And then he can start poking, but you don't really want to overcommit into attacking here. You're still, I guess you're only at damage 2.
Respect it.
So I thought part of the reason why Sidney attacked with Quistis last turn was maybe he had another Quistis in hand and he wanted her to die so he could play a new one. But then he just didn't. So I don't know what to think now. Nobly Edward is up, so this deck has a lot of breaks in recursion, but Edward's pretty good at shutting that down to an extent.
Uh-huh. Uh, Sidney playing nothing last turn is a bit baffling. I don't know what he drew for him to want to attack and just throw away a Quistis.
Yeah. I think he was thinking about doing one play and he realized it wasn't correct, and then the Quistis was just already dead. That's the only thing
Possibly.
I can come up with.
Possibly, but then let's see what he does this turn. He has a big grip here,
It's a
so
big grip. There's quite a few good cards he could play here, like the Adea would be really nice if he had another one of the Adea. So he did have the. I think he did. Okay.
he did have it. Okay,
Okay, so we can Dull Freeze 3 things here. Probably Sergi's Shiva Edward? I'm not sure.
addition he will go to 3 damage after this. I would like that actually. I would like that.
Not hitting the Edward?
I'm confused.
The Torgal doesn't have a dulling
Text.
ability, right? Like, I'm not crazy.
It does not text.
Okay, yeah, Torgal doesn't do anything when Shiva is already on board and there's no like Clives in your deck. Right, so like denying Edward on the following turn would make any like future recursive abilities online, right? It's like because if he dull freeze
I
Edward here, then on his next turn he could like play a cipher and not have to worry about Edward.
I'm certain he has some type of plan for why he didn't do that.
I can legit think of 0 reasons why dull freezing Torgal is better than Edward there. I think Sidney just forgot it did something. Oh, there's Charlotte.
She's annoying. Okay.
Do we got another Shiva in hand? Free cast? Well, that's a good draw.
There you go.
Well, the Edward was dulled anyway, so it didn't actually end up mattering. I was just confused.
Either way, you choose the one with an action to do. You know, so
Yeah. Okay. Are we thinking of playing like? Looked like he was holding off 2 cards to the side to like play a 5-drop. I could see an Adea, or are we going for an LB?
a 4 or 5 LB. I respect it.
Okay, we're using Victoria to kill the Victoria.
Trigger. Discard a card.
Uh,
It comes big step. No,
Charlotte only protects herself.
Yeah, that's right. She doesn't play the Frozen. And then well, yeah. That's a 9K, right? Yeah, that is a 9K. Cool.
Yeah.
Both.
Could party here? Okay, here's the party.
We take it.
Yeah. There's no way you block this. Okay. Up to 4 damage.
Yeah, 2-4. That we're getting much closer here.
Yeah, he's slowly creeping forward.
Mm-hmm.
Now Cory can potentially attack 3 times, but he's got to be careful because like if he hits Sidney too much, that Renoas can become extremely scary. Of course, Cory does have access to some amount of LB left. It's possible there's a Kuja in there, and a Kuja is pretty efficient at locking down the Renoa to make sure she doesn't get that disgusting damage 5 trigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did we draw?
Looks like we're just drawing a card.
Why are you tapping that? Well,
You just discarded a Biblos? Okay. Biblos is actually really nice on this board,
Good.
right? Because the Charlotte discards trigger it.
This situation is actually crazy. Why would you? No, Biblos is actually so good. You're damage 3. You're damage 4. So yeah, that you definitely want to do. No.
Yeah. But not only is he damage 4, he's at damage 4 with 2 different forwards with abilities that trigger discards. I mean, the conditions are awkward, but like definitely doable.
Oh my.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, no. That I first of all, again, he tapped the Edward before the Toggle, right? And then
Why is that? Neither of them remember that Edward has text apparently.
I don't understand both these players, but also yeah, the liberals definitely does matter quite a bit at this point in the game.
Cory's racing. Damage 3. Ooh,
Ooh,
that was a good hit into damage.
that is dramatically good.
All right, because how much does it cost right now? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, it still costs 4. It's still pretty expensive, but Sidney has the capacity, the capability to just explode onto the board.
He's playing a dangerous game here. He's playing a very dangerous game here. I assume he has some type of instant speed interaction here for him to be on one fold only.
There must be, because otherwise, like a single Surges wins the game here, right?
Yes.
Let's see, what could Cory possibly have in his hand? Let's pull up the list. Maybe he has a 1-cost Shiva in his hand.
The Death Seraph will kill 2, 3, 5, 7. So
Would kill. There's two of them it could kill, but it would only kill one at a time.
yeah.
So either he has, but he doesn't have enough to cast Death Seraph. The only thing I can see in his deck that can save him right now is the Shiva. I don't think unless. Wait, does he have the 3-cost? He has. There's also potentially could be 3-cost Sephiroth.
Does it on his list? Yes, he does. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So one of those two. He has one of each.
Wait, what is that Sephiroth touching dolls right now? Is that real?
So
Is that Sephiroth really touching dolls right now?
is it what?
That Sephiroth is 13 bucks.
I mean, it's a legend, right?
Yeah, but he's been like, I thought he's been like so super cheap. Oh, it is touching dolls. Holy Jesus. Yeah, okay.
Um.
Okay, it is pretty expensive. I didn't
Okay,
realize how much.
So if you're Sidney, you just have to assume that Cory has one of those 2 cards in his hand, because there's no way he just like overextended into just the simplest Surge's lethal
Finisher.
known
Well,
demand, right?
Yes, I have Cory goofed it up before like this.
But so the problem is both of those only stop 1 attackers, right? So if you can like get a haster on field next to
Yeah,
the Surges, you still have it.
yeah.
No. The Shiva can stop 2. The Shiva can stop 2. The Shiva can stop 2.
But so do you push for game here though? Because if you push, and what we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4 damage on Sidney. If he
Yeah.
miscalculates what Cory has in his hand, maybe Cory's bluffing too, and Sidney is just
Yeah.
taking the bait. But if he doesn't get to finish the game here and he pushes in and loses his board, on the clapback he's dead, right? So
Yeah.
he's in an uncomfortable position, which is very, very good, which
Oh
is
well.
very respectable.
Wow. Imagine if we had an Edward up to stop this cipher. Now the thing is, I forgot selfie isn't going to work on this board, right? Because you can't actually haste something when Charlotte's on board.
Yeah, well, you can haste it, but it's don't froze it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um.
that shuttle has been in play for far too long, honestly.
Well, it's been what, 1 turn cycle. It actually hasn't been that long.
That Charlotte, like, she's been big in this matchup. Honestly, like that Charlotte has paid dividends. So I don't know how much value you normally get out of the Charlotte, but I mean, if she's not good, you pitch her. But when she's good, she's really, really, really good.
It looks like we're gonna play Zell, right? I believe they're both a damage 4, right? Okay, it's the Shiva. Okay. So this one Shiva is going to allow Cory to stall out for a very long time.
I think the game is over. He's
uh,
going. He's going to swing back next turn, and the game is just over.
Cory or
Yeah, for Cory. So if he doesn't die this turn, next turn he's going to Shiva his way through winning the game.
wait, so he's Shiva-ing twice here. He can only Shiva twice.
Yeah.
But as it stands right now, Sidney can just play Zell, kill that Charlotte, and he's gonna have. Cory's only gonna have 2 attackers, so Cory can't win next turn.
If he can kill the Charlotte, then yes.
Yeah, he can kill the Charlotte because he just added Zell to hand. Assuming
okay.
that there's a singular fire card, which why did we add back Zell if there's no fire cards in hand? Is what I just have to add is just the assumption that I'm making.
I think either way something needs to die on Cory's side, because otherwise he can just Shiva his way to victory next turn. So he has to do something.
Well, Sidney can either Cloud or Zell, or he's got options.
He's got options.
I believe he has. He's exactly enough cards in hand to play Zell and pay the Charlotte tax. If he wants to do that, or he could just play Zell, kill the Shiva. But I think at this point you're kind of okay with Shiva just sitting on board doing her thing.
Mm-hmm. I do want to point out though, honestly, that Cory should have waited for an attack on.
Yeah, I don't know why we preemptively did it. I'm just I'm ignoring that at this point. Of course, although if we don't have a fire card in hand, we can sacrifice Squall to play the Zell. It's not ideal. We'd rather not do that if we didn't have to.
All the guys are getting blocked right now, right? So that's also another thing. It is the body, to be fair.
Yeah.
Because the body coming into play is coming to play Dull Frozen, right? So
yes,
it's not,
exactly.
So it's not easy. It's actually really difficult math when you have the Charlotte in play. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have not seen a lot of game with Charlotte being in play for like an extended amount of time. So it's kind of like I don't know how all the intricate things happening with this. But yeah, like free playing a body with Squall while he's untapped, and then the body comes and play Dull Frozen, which means that not only it doesn't get to block, but also it doesn't get to block the following turn.
Yeah, it's pretty annoying.
It's a strange.
Well, it looks like we're using Squall to play the Zell. So we still have 2 cards left in hand, which means we could kill the Shiva and then also like cloud the Surges off the board.
Yeah.
And that it's not great. Everything's coming in Dull Frozen. But at that point, we're at damage 4. They only have the 1 attacker. It's gonna take a while for Charlotte to actually get in there. And by that point, everything Sidney has on board will eventually untap.
Yeah.
It looks like no, we are paying to kill the Charlotte. We are done. We are tired of Charlotte. So, funnily enough, Cory can put Sidney can put him 2-6 here. But he's only got 1 card in hand and only he's not putting him to 6. He's putting him to dead. Oh, the Snovlinka top deck. Let's go. Oh, and that's game.
We have a grand world, boys. We do have a grand world, boys. What a way to end it. That's disgusting. Oh my god, Goal's gonna be so happy. I hate this. I actually hate this. Oh my god, it's justifying Goal.
Snovlinka isn't real. You don't listen to Goal.
No, listen to Goal. It's good.
It's terrible.
It has issues too. There's a pros and cons to everything other than Simo. But don't listen to her. It's good. It's not that good. Oh my god, he's so good to find out.
No one. What Goal doesn't know won't hurt him. Okay, we don't gotta tell him. No one tell him.
No one tells me. He's not gonna watch this video. He's not gonna watch the end of this game. Oh my
gosh. Yeah, the stream was 6 hours. He's not watching that long.
I hate this. That's funny. Well, we have a so that ends this tournament. This has been, ladies and gentlemen, the very first Warlords tournament. I've talked to the guys that played. They even the ones that got knocked out, and they've all absolutely loved this. And the reason why I ran this tournament to begin with is because they asked for it. They wanted it, and even the guy that's been losing have said that this is great. They love this. They've enjoyed this a lot. Even when I was hearing Christian Oil playing, like they were actually laughing, having a good time, while struggling on like some of these plays. So they've been, even while struggling, they've had a great time. So this is probably not going to be the last tournament. Um, and by the time that we have another one, I don't know, maybe now that you guys are like open to this, now that you guys seen some of this, maybe some of you get be interested, and then we'll have more challenges. Worlds being challenged by uh, different players, and then getting the titles, and then the next tournament could be 8 players again, or maybe 16, and then we'll have more fun, right? Uh, Mr. Torrey, would you possibly think about
I mean,
joining?
maybe I'll play next time instead of
Maybe you'll
casting.
play next time, right? So, like I said, we have what 2 months and a half until the competitive season. So we'll
Well,
probably.
well, some of us have Winter Cup next weekend.
Yes, of course, of course, of course. So, and yeah, actually, I believe three of my Warlords are going to be going to the Winter Cup weekend. So they'll be there. I don't know how much time they'll have available to them, but they'll definitely have. They just have their decks. I just saw with 5 decks each at the very least. Most of them had six, so they'll be at the Winter Cup. It'll be Kevin Fig, Zeph, and Anthony. They'll be at the Winter Cup. So there'll be three Warlords at the very least at this tournament. So again, I don't know how available they are, but if you go on this Discord, you can challenge them. You can see if they have available, and then if you beat them or bring them to Game Seven, the final game, then you will get your title, and then maybe again on the next World Tournament, you get your. I will invite priority on the people that haven't got a chance to play it, and it'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Are you going to do Winter Cup, Mr. Toy Kelly?
Yes, I am. I will be there next weekend in Pittsburgh with my crew, my same crew from last year and the year before. We're running it back.
That is awesome. That is good to hear. And thank you for joining me today on this beautiful, cold, freezing Sunday for all of North America. I am glad I've thoroughly enjoyed doing commentaries with you, and I do want to thank you again for your time, for coming in and making time for dedicating to us. So
Oh, it's not a problem. It was a lot of fun. I always love talking about Final Fantasy.
yes, 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 same, same. I especially love flaming my boys over that.
Oh my
I
gosh.
love them to death, but
I'm gonna have some words for Sidney later. That's all I got. That's all I gotta say.
I would like you to watch the VOD from yesterday, and I want you to watch him lose 3 times on your deck,
No, no,
sir.
I don't need to do that. Okay, I don't need to see
I want you to watch him
that.
lose 3 times on your deck, and coach him through being slightly better. But
Okay.
nah, nah, nah. Sidney is a fantastic player.
Obviously, yeah.
He made it through the gauntlet. He made it through a lot of players. He went through the winner's side until he met Cory, and then Cory has been checking him twice now.
Yeah.
That's
Cory didn't lose a single match all tournament. That's performance
Cory
right there.
Cory is a good player. He might have gone to 5 Material Cups last year in 2025, and he might have made day two in all 5 of them. So we might know that he's a decent player at the very least. That is an impressive stats that even uh, me, you, or Mike Powell did not achieve. We did not 100% all Material Cup day twos. These are impressive stats. That we have to say. So he's a very very consistent player. He does make some questionable plays sometimes, but he is a very, very, very strong player, and I am very happy that he is the first Grand Warlords of in the group. And I will bring him right here real quick so I can hand him his little trophy. Be right back, guys.
What a day. What a day. What a stream. No offense to Sidney. I'm glad he didn't win because then we'd have to do the the bracket reset, and I don't know if I could handle that. It's long enough as it was. Okay. And no one tells Sidney I said that.
Mr. Cory,
Yeah.
Steven, are we on the streamers?
What's up, Torrey?
Yes, we
Hey
are.
Cory, how you doing?
Good, good.
So here we go.
Congratulations.
This is the playmat that he's had. It says the first Warlords Tournament, but now we're going to upgrade it to this.
Ooh.
This one will say the first Grand Warlords, and that is going to you, good sir.
Thank you very much. You can have that back.
And here is your trophy. This is what it looks like. It's nice.
That looks sick.
It is nice, shiny, and pretty. And
Take shape and salute.
well done. Right. Love you, my boy. So, and that is it. Again, thank you, Torrey, for joining us today. And I hope to do this again if people are interested enough, and then if this format grows, then I definitely would like to run this again. And who knows if there's enough players on the East Coast, because right now we have the East from the beast from the East, Sidney. Sidney, he made it all the way to the grand finals, and if there's gonna be more players from the East doing this, then I don't know. Maybe we have a tournament on the East Coast. You have to travel all that far, and we'll see how it goes.
So, I would go.
You'd go?
Yeah.
Maybe we can get Sydney's locals to host one. They've got a nice large player base there.
If this format grows even larger, we could have some turf battles, and we could have Texas versus the East. We could have Texas versus the East. We could have the East versus the Coast. I'm just saying, it's be cool. But
you trying to mess with DMVA?
That'd be sick. So and here we have it. So thank you guys for joining us, and thanks again, Torrey, for joining us. So we'll be signing off right here.
Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good one.
Peace, everyone.
We good, Steven. Thank you very much, guys.